Welcome. Chat rules. No doxing. No homophobic bullcrap. No racial bullcrap. If you don't like someone in chat, click on their name and select block. And then select block again. Done. If you ever feel like it's all too much, log off and contact the number below for help. To be eligible for gifted memberships, click the $sign and select membership. Then hit gift settings and slide to on to allow gifts. Turn off gift settings the same way. My email, ConnieKR68@gmail.com. Tips are appreciated, never expected. Cash App, $, capital CONNIEKR. PayPal me at ConnieKR68. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Thanks.
Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism and commenting.
Get ready, because Constant Sue has something to say, like it or not. Good afternoon. Oh, you don't know how hard this is. You'd think it'd be easy just to change your name and put on a costume. I feel dirty. I feel creepy. Sunday can't come fast enough to get this off of me. Ugh. And then I'm thinking, oh my God, I sold my soul for $50. Today I just made my goal and said, if I make my goal, I'll thank you very much, because I was afraid to put anything on there. Southern Girl might match it. So today's going to be more Ernie history. Looking for my timestamps that I need. And today's playlist will be what I call Ernie Shell, Stolen Valor, Law Enforcement. Stolen Valor, Law Enforcement. And what else does it say? Oh, come on now. Guess what I named it? Oh, well. It's there anyway. Hi, Kylie. Here's the link to the playlist. Hey, Honeybee. Hey, Ernie's helicopter pilot. Hey, Ran and I said Honeybee already. Hey, PSA. Mark. Love for almost everyone. Dodie. Hey, Sarah. I put the link in chat for you. Didn't I? Yeah. That link's for Sarah. Today he had his pens, notepad, and his red Etch-a-Sketch. Well, I missed class today because I had to work. He's going to have to give me a hall pass sometimes because I can't be there all the time. I got there probably 20 minutes before he ended. I got to see the last 20 minutes of it. I forgot what I commented. Oh, Renee was in there being a drama mama. And I told her to calm down. It was just YouTube. Silly girl. He was drawing a tunnel. Like we don't know what a tunnel looks like. Was he being creepy today? With his creepy predator tips or predator things? Doesn't he know that he's just teaching predators how to be predators? Tell them how long you got to keep them online to be a good sting. Well, now predators know, well, I got to cut it off before then because that's what sting looks like. All kinds of weird stuff like there. Oh, you may be making stuff up. Well, that's okay. It's entertaining while we're waiting for Sarah. Oh. So this playlist has, what did I see? I think 47. Let me look. Oh, just a minute. I got a call. Okay, I'm back. So let me. Oh, there was something on my screen, and I read Honey. Rand said Honeybee the fool. I thought it said the foot. Hey, Sarah. How are you today?
Oh, hey. How's it going? Sorry about that. I was on the phone. I think I have YouTube open. Great. How are you?
Sound okay?
I
He
just...
saved a what? He saved a life today from a puddle.
1 second. I'm taking out the other earbud. Oh, I just
Okay.
broke it. I just broke it. Help me. Now, what did you say?
Somebody said that Ernie saved somebody from a puddle today.
A life-saving puddle? Puddle save?
Uh-huh.
I'd
Life
like
saving.
some explanation on that.
Yeah, I only got there for the last 20 minutes because I had to work. I was late for class. He's gonna have to give me
Was
a
it
hall
long?
pass. I think it was. I think it was probably 2 hours, maybe. And he'd been
I went
going
to
a
the...
while. There.
I went to the beginning, but I left because I didn't want to hear what was the subject that was they were talking about. So I went and watched cop cam videos because he was,
Yeah.
touching on Katie, Shannon, Angelo. So I'm like, I'm not listening to this. Goodbye. So yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know what happened.
Huh. Well, today's playlist we might never get through because it's my Ernie Shell, Stolen Valor, law enforcement, Trump, LARPs, all the one, and there's 47 clips. But
Holy
I'm not gonna. Yeah, I'm not gonna go through the new ones because we're probably familiar with the new ones. We'll just go over the old ones. And the first old one starts with that goofy interview he did with that goofy lady. So let me share my screen and see, refresh everybody's memory. I gotta watch it anyway. I was gonna say we could
Can't
skip
believe
it,
I
but
just did that.
is it
When I took
broke?
my earbud out, the little piece on the earbud that goes in your ear went flying, and I already lost the other one yesterday. So now I got two broken ones, but I
Oh,
have backup somewhere. It's just annoying. Dang
anyway.
it. Okay, I'll remember maybe when I see it.
Honeybee's giving us some kind of code. Mr. W said he had a whole story for rescuing the puddle guy, I guess.
Oh Lord, was there any video?
I don't know. I don't know. Guess we'll have to go back and watch it sometime. Bozo. But
I see.
okay, today starts with this is Hold the Line TV. Now, this lady was in Kenosha with Ernie when Ernie says he was up there being security for, I always want to say Brian Laundrie, but it's not Brian Laundrie, it's Kyle Rittenhouse.
This might be the
Now,
clip I played recently.
did you?
It could be.
Ernie says he was there for the Kyle Rittenhouse security. I say he was there to LARP, and he just seen this lady. And the clue that makes me think that I'm right is because she says, "So you were there with security for Kyle Rittenhouse or something?" And then he goes, "Yeah." And she said, "I went back the next day to buy you all donuts, and you weren't there because he wasn't security for Rittenhouse." So that's why I stand on it. What I say.
Well,
There's more evidence.
the one I played was like an hour. I think maybe about 45 minutes. I did it. I don't know,
Yeah.
maybe weeks ago or something. And he was just, kind of chilling up and go out into a fight. And he was like, just taking some videos and stuff. I don't know. I don't think it's the same one then.
Oh, it might not be. But this
Yeah, I didn't
lady and
know if
Ernie talk so slow that I'm going to put it on double speed. Well, not double, but almost double
Oh Lord.
because she's a sleepy talker too, and She's all blah, 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 blah.
I usually
So,
can't take it unless it's 1.25, but if it's a slow talker, then it should be all right.
yeah. I'll put it on 1.25 and start
Yeah,
and see
let's
how
check.
it goes.
Well, it out. It might be fine if she talks slow.
Let me get us off the screen here. And then make this big. Forgot what I was doing. Okay. Make that big. Here we go. This is It's called Hold the Line TV. It's a Republican based TV, I guess. And it's from November 28th, 2021. So this is before Summer Wells even, right?
Let me share you. Let me share you here. Right? I'm sharing you on my phone. There you go.
Okay. This is after summer. So it says Ernie Shell is the founder and former president of Predator Hunter Nation, executive protection specialist, director of operations for Rock Rescue Our Children. This is an extensive conversation on child rescue and helping parents to become aware of how to keep their children safe. More information can be found on the link below. And then it's Predator Hunter Nation's channel link. Website, humantraffickingpreventionact.com. Well, we all know what that is because that's that creepy website that told me that Ernie could bend steel with his hands.
It's fun.
Yeah.
Before you play this, can I just ask, did you see the recent, it was done like a month ago. Tiger Lori just shared it. It was a psychic did a card reading or tarot reading on Ernie. And she said she doesn't really know him, but people have been asking her to do it. I found it kind of interesting. I watched it last night. Tiger Lori shared it. It might be a good one to look over sometimes.
Okay. Yeah, no, I haven't seen it yet.
I found it interesting.
Okay, here we go with this. Let me know if my sound's breaking up for crackling.
It's me. Just Lori. I forgot. You're just now.
Yeah. What'd you call it, Tiger Lori?
I said that out of habit. I don't know why it's just Lori now, but I meant to say just Lori. Sorry.
Okay, here we go. Let me put it on the speed first. Okay.
Volume low.
Is it high?
I can't hear it well. I'm wondering if on the screen it's low, but you might have to unpin that comment so we can see what's going on.
How you doing?
That could be me. Let me check on my earbud. Oh, I remember this.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
just to let everybody know, we did meet in Kenosha, and we met last week. Was it Friday when we got the results for the verdict of how Whitehouse. And you were there, and you were very kind. Were maybe I don't know what I thought you were doing. But anyway, I approached you. You were very kind, and you had been there all day, hadn't you?
Well, yeah. Yes, I was looking all day. Yeah, I got there.
She says, "I thought you were maybe."
I cannot understand this, Constance.
Is it too fast? Was it playing too fast?
Something weird's going on. Can you check the volume on the video itself?
Uh-huh. Is it too low or too high?
It's doing weird things like it was talking fast, way too fast and skipping.
Okay. It's too low and gravelly. Okay, let me refresh it.
It was too low and too fast and a little skippy. Okay, crackling or something. It might be fine in a minute. But it sounded like the volume was down because I hear you okay and the volume over there is not okay.
Already out of the way and out of
Yeah, check the volume on the video. It was down. See, it's low. I think you got to turn it all the way up. A chipmunk. Did she record it on a high speed, maybe?
I don't know. We get past this tunes here.
So something weird's going on.
You know, we did meet in Kenosha, and we met last week. Was it Friday when we got the results?
Is that any better? It's lagging. Let me restart my computer, and I'll be right back.
I don't think so. I'm putting on my other sound to check it.
Are you on your laptop or your phone?
I have both. I'm checking it on my phone to hear what they're hearing, and it sounds real bad. But I'm on my laptop too.
Do you want to play it from yours?
What you can do is put it in the private chat, and I'll pull it up for you.
Okay.
Let's try it. You put it in the back chat.
I got Raylan internet today. There you go.
Mine might not be better, but we can try.
Hey, crybaby. Hey, Sandy says. Mr. Nobody.
Okay,
Grab
1 second.
it.
Now I gotta figure this out. Gotta go back to your
Curiosity.
StreamYard. Let me present it first.
Okay. I guess I got to take mine down. There we go.
I think I have it. We're gonna have to change this a lot.
Yes, ma'am. Lisa, sure is. Everybody's blocks over here. This is a cool kids hangout. Chiquita, move for a minute. Come on. Come here, Kita. Come here. Over here. This way. No. This way. Come on, move. Hey, Wreath Maker.
It should be there when you're ready to pull it up.
Oh. Okay, there it is. Oh, I sent you the wrong link. That's the link to mine.
This is you. Did you send me your live?
I bet I did.
Live. I'm like, why are your chat rules in here? Okay.
Right. Okay, I'll try this again.
Well, let's stop this for a minute. Let's try that again. Help me.
There, try that.
Just bear, sir. We're working with some tech here.
We're newbies.
Okay.
He rage quit his live. Yeah, I got to see that at the end, but I was busy. I had a phone call. I didn't see why he quit. Oh, because Lisa questioned him about panda eyes. That's what it was.
Oh, did she go on panel?
No, she just said that panda eyes didn't have anything to do with child trafficking.
Okay.
I heard the rumors like that, but I didn't know. You're a Nazi nun?
Well, it's been presented on YouTube a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Should be ready.
Okay.
Should be ready.
There we go. Now I'll just tell you when I want to stop it, and
Okay.
or you stop it whenever you want to, however. Let us know how it sounds.
I got 2 different earphones in for a second so I can do a sound check.
Very kind when I
Okay. Yeah, we're going to do a test first.
approached you. I thought you were maybe, I don't know what I thought you were doing. But anyway, I approached you and you were very, very kind. Now, you had been there all day, hadn't you?
Oh, wow. Yeah, yes. Literally all day. I had got there and had to leave again because they had took Kyle out the side door, the back door of the courthouse there. And then I was watching over the area there with the vehicles, that road was still open.
I'm pausing to make sure you guys can hear okay. Does
I
it
hear
sound good
okay.
to you? Okay.
That's fun to
So I
me.
was over there just watching that. And then I seen all the news media stuff just come running down. I had already knew that he was already out of the way and out of harm's sight.
The lady is from Hold the Line news station. She did an interview with Ernie. She's from Hold the Line. Okay.
This is an oldie but goodie.
Yeah, 2021.
be in good hands, and he was already gone. So
Now there was some protesters there, some Antifa that you came across, wasn't there? You showed me some pictures.
yeah, well,
And
there
you
was
had
this
fun?
one certain Antifa guy, and Lord help it, I don't even know. I mean, you got to see it. I know all the media zoomed in right on the time. It was when Mr. McGinnis actually was up there, and he was saying something, and he had named something about Antifa and them writing, and the way they're anarchy. And as soon as he did, you could just see this guy. He just turned around and looked at him, and it was just. You cannot have a conversation with these Antifa guys. Even in Atlanta, Georgia, when I encountered them. But I was just telling you, this guy, he just turns around and he's like, "Get out of here. And that's all they can do is just say, "Get out of here. You're not welcome, And then I seen him getting too close. And, from training perspectives, you cannot let them get so close. When I seen him go down, I noticed he had a little clip. He had a knife on his shirt. And I was looking, I was like, okay, so me being executive protection and protection in general just for the people,
Too much
I
BS.
stepped in, and you're seeing it didn't last long. Because when you confront these people, and they're not used to being confronted, they're not used to being confronted at all. They're used.
Gotcha.
I sold my soul for a week, Katie. I am a tiger for a week. Southern girl bought me for a week.
You didn't think you were going to get the donation. See, what happened was yesterday in her chat, as a joke, she put a goal of 50 super chats, and Southern Girl started doing them in dollar increments, and then said, I'll just do it all so I don't get my bank card blocked. So, not thinking that it would actually happen, it did. So I then made this fancy avatar, which I must say that they did not care for over there. How rude.
I love it.
It's so Chainsaw Sue. Look at it. Just look at it.
Yeah.
It's a
I love
tiger
the
with a
combination.
chainsaw. How do you not like it? Come on now.
And if you're not talking about that, if you're talking about Shannon when she came up, I just, Shannon just came up and had her little rant. And yeah, I'm not didn't trade on nobody. I like all of you. So
yeah, it was. We didn't. I know. I was just playing with a pug puppy prior to coming on the panel, so I was like, "What the hell? Like, is happening?" And Ernie started talking about that stuff this morning, so I left that too. I'm like, nope, goodbye.
Yeah, I missed that too. I was late for class. Hey, MacB. I still haven't practiced my roar very good.
Oh, I forgot to clip those. I made you do 3 or 4 RARs yesterday at the end, right?
Yeah.
But you got to practice. You have to use your whole diaphragm, Constance. You really got to put some gusto.
I need to get my heart's just not in it. I need to get my heart in it. Well, I'm just not a tiger yet.
What's stopping you from letting out that deep roar? Is there somebody at home that you're embarrassed to roar loud? Roar. You need to roar and soar. Roar like you mean it.
I just need to feel it in my gut, and I'm just not feeling it. Like I said, I feel creepy, dirty. I feel
some
like
gusto. Can you just give us one practice roar for the chat now? Can you just try?
Okay, one practice.
Okay, thanks. That'll do for now. I'll clip that one too. Thank you.
Katie said Satan was running with the narrative that you turned on us. Oh, no, not yet.
To having their way.
My dick. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, sorry.
And it goes with today's society. They're getting their way. That's why they're doing what they're doing. But he wasn't having his way like that. Not with me.
And you showed me some pictures. Yeah, you had a little bit of fun that day. Now you are the executive protection specialist, right? Mm-hmm. And yes. You do protection, and you're also the director of operations for ROC, which is Rescue Our Children. Tell me a little bit about what you do.
Operation Rescue Our Children in the beginning started off with the executive orders in 2017 with President Trump. And then a lot of people don't understand, just.
Okay, go back about 5 seconds. What's the timestamp there?
Oh, the Trump thing?
Yeah.
Right. Looks like this is where it gets tricky for me.
Just a roundabout spot will be fine.
Now, you are the executive protection specialist, right? Mm-hmm. And
okay, stop it right there.
And you're the director of operations.
What's it say? 3:23. Okay. Because see, then again, right here, he's not saying right now that he works for Trump, but he's starting to lead into it.
It's hard to tell here, Constance, because it's so finicky. But it's like
I'll just
it's
stop
around
it where.
there.
Yeah, that's good enough.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Actually, it's 3:29 right now, so it probably was about that. Okay.
Okay.
For ROC, which is Rescue Our Children. Tell me a little bit about what you do.
Well, Operation Rescue Our Children in the beginning started off with the executive orders in 2017 with President Trump. And then a lot of people don't understand, just that general, just to hit on it just a little bit. A lot of people don't understand when he doubled down those last executive orders was combating human trafficking. Combating. When he put those words in the executive orders, combating, oh my God, that opened up task force teams all around the United States. I know about 500 or 600, but I've heard more than 800. So just, what it was able to free up and open up. And as you see, as soon as that happened, boom, 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 20, 30, 40, 50 kids rescued here, bam, 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 U.S. Marshals. But then you notice.
He's so full of shit. He's so full of shit. So that's his double talk, word salad bullshit to where Trump, I need to look more into this. Someone needs to explain to me what were the executive orders and what does an executive order do? Does an executive order give everybody in America, like if you had an executive order to increase the supply of bananas, does that mean that I'd go, okay, Trump gave me an order, I'm going to go plant a banana tree? What does an executive order mean? Does it have to be held to a government? Does it have to be like, what the hell does that just mean? Does it just mean when he says that any fool can go start up whatever he's looking for? 800 human trafficking things, 800 people like Ernie went out there to LARP and to use people to get money for kids. Is that what it's saying?
Well, Constance, you kind of made me lose my train of thought because once you started talking about bananas, you made me think about the monkey and the tree thing, and I'm swinging monkey from a tree. So that's where my mind went. I'm sorry. I ADD'd a little bit, but I did back it up a little bit of seconds. Yeah.
Yeah.
Free up and open up. And as you see, as soon as that happened, boom, 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 20, 30, 40, 50 kids rescued here, bam, 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 U.S. Marshals. But then you noticed in their press releases, they would always say, well, there was over 50 organizations in this. Well, they can't just name all 50 organizations. So a lot of people have a hand in it behind the scenes.
Yes, I would
But
imagine.
others don't know. It's just like I tell everybody. What you see is what the media wants you to see. You don't get to see what's behind the scenes. You don't get to see the men and women who put their lives on the line daily doing or fighting an evil that an ancient evil that preys on your children.
Yes.
Signs and symbols.
And it does not rest.
Yeah, somebody once told me if you're going to do something, do it fast because evil doesn't walk, doesn't run, evil flies.
Exactly.
It doesn't dilly-dally.
Do we have a question in the chat? Arctic says, Lisa K., are you lying to people and telling them I was fired from my job? Who told the lie? You are the only one to know. I don't know that, or if anyone's looking into your job. I guess. Huh?
Chat fight.
Yes. Okay, I just wanted to read that. Okay.
Trump had those orders, but he also had the funding, which before, as I understand it, there wasn't very much funding for child rescue of any type.
Right. Well,
so did these little LARPing companies get money from Trump? Kind of like the PPE loans? Did you get to say, okay, here, I'm Rescue Our Children. We need $10,000 to go rescue children, and you got a loan? Is that how he got money? Is that what an executive order means? Oh, I'm so confused.
Well, when President Trump got in office and took in office, I was at Trump Towers. I was helping put boulders up. Well, I was helping with the security around Keystone around when the boulders was taken and put in New York City up against, to block off Trump Towers. You know how they had it blocked off. You've been to Trump Towers. Yeah. Okay. So, I was doing it was like a 21-day contract. I think it was, I can't remember the service I was working for, but that's where it kind of started, and it kind of got me up on my feet.
So he's a good guy, huh? He's a good guy.
Employer, great employer. His son, Donald Trump Jr., one of the best guys, humble, down to earth. And I mean, when I say this, I mean, he's very, very smart. I mean, I was looking for him to run for president afterwards. So
Who knows? Who knows? You talk about the human trafficking advocacy. What is that? What is that? So the people in this, because there's so many different types.
Just pause. Thank you, Spider Woman, for the $0 super sticker, $2 super
Thank
sticker.
you. Thank you.
And human trafficking advocacy, wouldn't that be an advocate for human trafficking? Like, wouldn't that be promoting human trafficking? So many questions. Okay.
Sorry, I'm just tracking chat fight.
Titles here.
well, there's so many different operation groups. It's with human trafficking, anything advocacy. Do you remember Facebook? You remember when Facebook had the big shutdown? It was October 20th, 2020, when they shut down. They took over 800 platforms of say.
Did you say pause?
Yeah. Well, no, I'm gonna give Katie a link and then pause when she comes up here.
Oh, okay. So play it until she's here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Our children off. Everything went out.
Wow.
I mean, I was over a group that had like 50,000 members. There was groups that just went gone overnight. I knew that was going to happen. I actually put out like a caution when they first said October 20th, everything was going to change. I screenshotted it. I've got that somewhere still, but I knew that was happening because look at who was dominating the field at that time. I mean, if you look, everybody was like, save our children. Over 20, I mean, this thing had 200 million on hashtags. Save our children.
Hi, Katie. Are you muted? Let me see.
I don't hear it. I can't tell. I'm inside.
Uh-oh.
I don't hear her.
I think I booted her. Try again, Katie. I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot.
Remember, they said you could not hashtag no more. Remember that? And the group started doing all that. They was taking groups down. They was using their studies and finding out. Facebook put out a thing where they was actually looking at whoever put Save Our Children out there in a hashtag format, the algorithms or whatever was taking that off, and it was taking their groups away. Wow. Because people woke up.
People were weak. I heard that Save the Children was funded by rather a mischievous group of people, that they weren't really interested in that. Is that true or not? Or is that
I've heard that before.
Sorry.
Imagine that. Save Our Children was founded by a mischievous group of people that didn't have the best interest at heart. Imagine that. I bet you there popped up tons of these people that larked all over the world like that.
I really wish I paid attention.
Go ahead.
I might have to rewind that part.
You can, yeah.
Just a little bit, because I was watching the chat. Okay, I gotta not watch chat.
Save the Children was funded by rather a mischievous group of people that they weren't really interested in that. Is that true or not? Or is that
I've heard that before. I've heard that before too. But
do you have anything you want to say before I welcome Katie to the stage?
No, that was weird. I didn't hear that part before. I've seen this I've seen this a couple times, just not in a while, because it's an oldie. You know, it's a real oldie. I remember when we first found it, we're like, what the hell? And this face towards the end of the interview, I remember her whole facial expression changes dramatically. That I remember.
Okay. Hold on,
you
something's
hear?
wrong with her sound.
Yeah, we don't hear anything if you hear.
Okay, we can play it until she gets it figured out.
Okay.
Come on, Edith.
The fact of the matter.
Which dog is it?
Edith.
Edith, cut the crap. Edith. Edith, no. Okay, sorry.
Yes. No matter what group that was funding it or actually founded it, It was the meaning that caught fire. It don't matter if it was like,
I'm gonna make a coffee in a second, but I have to wait till it's a time where I can play it because I can't stop it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But I'll play it for now. I'll wait.
Okay.
Try to
you
wait.
can do something out there and put something out there for the bad, but people take and use it. And if they use it for the good, because I'll just be honest with you, it was save the children at first. Remember? They were saying save the children.
Save the children. Yeah.
So after that, they done away with that. And then it was Save Our Children that come out. And then that was one, well, the Save the Children movement had already started. That was already the ripple in the water. That already had it going full-fledged to make the wave. And then, of course, when Save Our Children was there, it hit perfectly and the wave was forming. And by God, did it crash. It crashed down on the hard. And they had to do something with it, and they did. They had to censor it, and that's what they did.
Okay. So I was looking through the website that you sent me, and it talks about the human trafficking and child exploitation prevention.
She said something's wrong with her sound. It could have to do with the
Okay.
browser or something. She said she's gonna stay in the.
Okay.
I don't want to miss anything since I'm playing it over here. In a little while, if you want to retry, or maybe after this, we'll just play it as it is, for now.
Yeah. You want to go make your coffee and we'll just let it play until you get back?
I just don't, I'm afraid that you're going to miss a good part that you want it to stop at. That's the only downside with me doing this.
If I do, I'll rewind it I'll have you rewind it.
Okay, well, all right, yeah. Can you see the time stamp down there playing? Then you can remember where to tell me to put it at?
Yeah, 9:23.
Okay.
Act. And so every state supposedly has a representative, and each state has this organization. How effective is it?
It's very, very effective. Over, I think we're around 28 or 30 states now that have adopted. It's the SOC, which is Save Our Children, the Save Our Children Act. It's kind of with that. So I'm the operation director, and I'm actually the field director for the Special Forces of Liberty.
I just figured you'd want to say something.
Just more bullshit.
I just assumed when you're going to want me to stop it.
Yeah, what does that entitle, Ernie? What does that mean? You have a label. That's it. Like you had Rescue Our Children. It didn't do shit. And Katie, I don't know if this is a paid interview or not. She said she met Ernie in Kenosha, and she said, when we got there, I seen you standing around, and I thought maybe, well, I didn't really know what you were doing there. So, yeah.
The way I took it, she had no clue, and it seemed like she thought it could have been something. And as you'll take note that by the end of this, her facial expressions start changing towards the end, like, what is this? You know what I mean? So I think she really thought, it was something else, maybe. That's kind of what I get from her face anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Anti-Human Trafficking and Child Exploitation Prevention Act. What that is they help, we actually help make the laws in all 50 states. So we get to go on these panels and like in Maine and different places and, argue.
Where he just said we help make the laws in 50 states. Is that something you want to note or no?
Yeah. Almost 10.
It says 10:05 right now. So it was probably at 10. It was probably at 10.
At 10, he didn't make any law at all. Chris wrote the law, and I think it was piggybacked off to something else. But Ernie Shell had no being whatsoever in writing any laws for anything. He drove Chris around house to house, and he lobbied for the law to be changed.
I guess it was actually not a law, but a bill presented.
Yeah.
They presented a bill, and it did not. Yeah.
Remember the Schoolhouse Rock? I'm just a bill, and I'm sitting here on Capitol Hill.
And what was the woman's name? Marlar, Tiffany Marlar. It was based off of her stuff, right?
That was it. Yeah,
her experiences as she was a real life human trafficking survivor.
Right.
And usually when we argue our case, and we usually win because nobody don't want to stand up against people who are there to protect children and make laws that actually protect children. One thing that's going on with that the last that I was involved in it, personally involved in it, was the Prostitution Act. Prostitution used to be on the street. Well,
He was involved. You were involved in a prostitution act? What? I never caught that before either. Ernie, I didn't know that. Dang.
His word salad trips him up.
Prostitution act.
Prostitution ain't really on the street no more. The street corners are not there no more like it used to be, because prostitution moved from the street.
It is if you go to New Bedford at night around here.
If you hang out
To
on
the
the
cell
strip,
phone.
yeah.
It starts about 8 o'clock, and those women will fight corners.
Yeah.
It's through the internet.
It's
Everything's
still
through
on
the
the
internet.
streets in Europe. Yeah, in Barcelona, when I, 4 girls are
Mhm.
over there.
Well, I mean, they're still on the street, but their
Yeah.
connections and their money, Cash App and things like this, everything is made through apps now. You know,
Well, her
you
face
go
gets
Cash App
better.
here, you PayPal, you know, all that. But it's
It's
all
goofy,
through,
man.
all your communications and everything is done on your cell phone.
Very sophisticated. Oh my goodness. So you've been thick in the thick of it all for a very, very long time, haven't you?
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about that.
Well,
Bullshit.
we had a group. It was Inhuman where, and it's still going. But sad thing about that is more
Thank you,
liberals
Mayor.
took over on it than anything
Thank
else.
you,
And they
Mayor.
wanted to start using it for their OnlyFans promotion. And therefore, you know, you ain't getting nothing done. Therefore, you kill yourself out. You drown yourself out when you do stuff like that. It don't matter what your meaning is.
Welcome, Rand, Lori, Unicorn Lover, and those are the only 3 I can see that got a gifted member, so I don't know about the other 2. That's weird.
Yeah. Katie, I
Huh.
think it was just aired on her YouTube channel. Her YouTube channel is called Hold the Line. It's like the Republican. Oh, you know how
Oh.
they got the offshoot of the
Oh,
news.
don't
going to
worry.
YouTube?
I'm going to get the
I'll
link.
drop the link in chat. Yeah.
Do you have it already?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
Rabbit's decluttering the background.
She's saying,
That's
why in
good,
God's name
Margaret.
am I in another Ernie Shell chat while she does her stuff?
If it's
Yeah.
not what your meaning is and you're promoting yourself on something on OnlyFans or any kind of other site, you're going to drown yourself out, no matter how many members you got. Pretty soon people just start dying out and they're like, we don't have nothing to do with it, no matter what you do. So with that, what I did when I was an admin there is I started task forces, voices for the children.
He started task
Good one.
force, voice for the children. Do you need that?
He's good at labeling things. No, that's his own thing. So I guess
Okay.
it's not really illegal to make your own LARP.
Okay.
Task force. You might have heard that before.
Nope.
We had our little operations that people in the group, I mean, we had 60,000 members messaging us
Wow.
over problems that they had.
Well, thanks,
and we was
TZ.
actually solving their problems, helping them.
What type of problems?
Well, some, I'll give you an example of one. One
Think of
time, we was hit when we had different chambers now in this. So in order to figure out who was legit, because remember, child traffickers also
for 8 months.
stay in those groups. You see, when you got a group of that size, 60,000 members, well, that's a pretty good size group. So what you have to understand, most importantly, is that group is an information source.
Not yet too much.
Now, that information source can be used by the good or it can use by the bad. So
Jibber
if you put
jabber.
a child that went missing
Yeah, because she said, give me an example, correct?
Mhm. Yep.
Yeah.
Just,
up in
we don't
that
want our
group,
60,000. And it goes on with jibber jabber.
Thank you, TZ, for being a member.
Thank you.
and you don't have enough good grabbing attention to that, and you have the bad looking at that too, well, it's a competition to who gets that child. You see what I'm getting at, right?
Yeah.
Remember, children, they sell, when these child traffickers, they sell these children, anywhere between $2,000 and $60,000.
Thank you, Shazzy Bear.
So you see a missing child, it just comes up on an Amber Alert. You're looking at it. Wow. Most people throw it on the group.
Between $2,000 and $60,000. 2,000. That's so odd.
Yeah, and where's your
Bam,
source for
the
that?
biggest group ever.
Yeah.
And they're hoping and praying that the right people see it. What they fail to realize,
Welcome, Michigan lady, to the cheap seats.
Thank you, thank you.
our eyes deceive us sometimes. They don't go with what's in the heart. That's an information source.
Jesus.
Are you going to be going to get that child more than a person knows that they can get
Yes,
$50,000 out of that?
We got a lot of signs and symbols going on. Do you see them?
on her
Don't
case.
think about it. That people don't realize. They don't think that way. Their brains are not
Starting.
trained that way.
Yeah, just watch
We're
her.
14. Look at my pause game. We're 14 minutes in now. Zoom in on her eyebrows.
She has had it already.
She says, "What did I do?"
Last time I invited Weirdo home from Kenosha.
I hear that a lot of this is going on in the darknet, a lot of the selling and a lot of the carrying on. Is your task force working in, or can you even say that, if you're working in the darknet?
No, we did dibble. They have dabbled in the past in that. As of right now, I don't have a task force that I'm even a part of. I'm just talking about we come up with a task force in that group that helped people out, and we did do a lot of helping. I remember it. I remember it, and people would tell us, I'll give you an example.
Didn't she ask if you were part of the dark web?
Yes, and she asked for an
Okay.
example 20 minutes ago.
Yeah. Okay. Just checking.
One of them. So this girl, she comes up missing. Her uncle had sold her when she was 8 years old.
Oh my.
Sold her in the child
Quick
trafficking.
pause.
I wanted to do it anyway, just to see if I could do a pause game with her face. Right when you
Yeah,
said that.
this
Anyway.
whole bullshit right here is going to be one of his mental stories. Shit he's made up in his mind. Let's see how dark it goes.
Her face.
Yeah, she
Well-
is. She's like, bullshit.
She went and we found this place where she was at. Her sister messaged us. She hadn't seen her sister in over 15 years. 15 years.
Right.
Her sister gets a hold of us. Of course, we're all like, we don't believe it's true and everything. There's nothing, can't fake passion. And this person kept on reaching out. And I'm like, look, I'm going to take this. I'm going to look at this and I'm going to see what's going on. She had done her own tracking on her own sister and found her sister. Now, that right there alone, you don't hear that from
And
the
she didn't
media.
call the
You'll
cops.
never hear that from the media. You'll never hear that from any news sources.
Because they
But
don't
she
lie like
found
you
her
do.
own sister.
Hi,
So
Jody.
she contacted us.
Jody, yeah, this is an old. This one's old. Isn't it like 2021?
2021. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I remember when we found this out of nowhere. We're like, "Whoa, where's this come from?"
And she found a way to even make contact with her sister and her sister into
Hi, Kintsugi.
human trafficking. But she found a way to do it. I don't know
Chainsaw
how she
Tiger.
did it, but we got the information. And she was on. Do you remember the internet? Do you remember the source, the internet source, the website called rapey.com?
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
This one always bugged me.
And it did exist.
remember
I guess.
this?
It did.
No, what was the story with this that he was saying about this? Because I remember when I
Oh.
heard him say rapey.com. Like, what in God's name kind of website would that be?
Right. That they found this girl on rapey.com. And I thought for sure it was bullshit. But
Rapey.com.
somebody, I forget who verified it for me. But somebody
Well,
said
I wasn't
that
even.
it did
I wasn't even
exist.
going to put that in my browser. I didn't even want anything
Right,
named
me neither.
rapey.com.
Me neither.
So I didn't search it.
Mm-hmm.
That
Last
is the
time I
weirdest
played
shit.
this, someone verified it.
Weird.
Yep. Jody, that's where she met him.
I just remember a live. He did a live about it and talked about the rapey.com. And I was just like, what the hell?
Mhm.
No.
Okay, so what they would do is they put their victims on rapey.com and it would show people raping these girls. They would literally had it on this site.
My God.
And you could buy this girl, you could purchase this girl. See that goes.
How can anyone go on a website? It's called rapey.com and you would see them doing that to people on just the regular internet.
Without the cops just going and busting it. Because if you could buy a girl online, then the cops would buy her online and arrest them.
What would make anyone put that on a .com? No.
And like
I don't-
Rally said, not a very discreet name, not like, let's just disguise it as match.com. Oh, hell no. Let's bust it all out there as rapey.com. It just doesn't ring true.
That's some weird ass shit.
In way beyond. But you could buy this girl. So we set up a bed and breakfast and we purchased that girl. What you didn't know is we was doing the rescue for that girl. So we was able to set that up. And of course, they have their.
So actually, that means you're saying that you purchased somebody. Where did you get the funds? How much did it cost? And where did you make this transaction if you are self-admittedly purchasing a person? Because I have so many questions about that, when you think about it.
Me too.
It's not every day that you go to purchase somebody. Do you remember how much it cost? Do you have any thing to tell us about that? I don't know. They're freaking weird.
People, their bodyguards that come with them, they're hawks. And we knew that he's going to take, this bed and breakfast. He's going to look around. He's going to have his phone. He's going to be videoing every one of the license plates. He's going to know everything about it. So I decided that we was going to rent a vehicle. So what he didn't know is 2 miles up the road, we had another vehicle, our vehicle, to get in after we left that place in that
You paid
vehicle.
for all this.
MacB, I literally was going to say that and I zipped it, but that's exactly what I was going to say. Did you use your Cash App?
Yeah.
Come
And like
on.
Mr. Nobody said earlier, since when do prostitutes use Cash App?
Okay, you know what? About this IQ test, I almost went over there last night, but I was kind of tired. It's like, first off, whoever's listening... Oh, I got an alarm. Hold on. Okay, that is not an IQ test. That is one of those fake things that, like, they used to have on Facebook where it would ask you color and your all kinds of dumb questions, 10 random questions, something fake. What they're doing is taking your information. It's nothing to do with IQ, so don't fear it. I have sat through a real IQ test because when I went to boarding school, a co-ed boarding school in Boston, we had to get one, and it took hours, grueling, boring to death, hours of doing manipulatives. It took hours. That is not real. Nothing real about it. You're fake. The certificate's fake. They're taking your dollar, your info, and all your email, and don't do it. That's what I'll say. There's nothing legit about it. A real 6 hours and costs lots of money. I had to do things with Huh?
Go ahead.
I was just going to say I had to do the ink blot test, the things with manipulatives, puzzles, all kind of shit. All right? It's really like hours, each of us.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And
Nobody
that
looked at
those
the website and said it was from Europe. How did Ernie buy
Oh.
a girl from Europe?
So yeah, there you go. What they're doing is taking your email address and all that shit and passing it on. It's just a scam. So you lost your dollar. Hopefully you won't need more emails and stuff because it's just a trick. Like I wouldn't encourage people to take that and get their information stolen. You're just getting it sold to another third party site or whatever. So
And that
don't
says
do
general awareness for the day. General awareness says
I'm
don't
trying to
take
help
that
you guys like not yeah, I'm literally like saying like from somebody that actually had to sit through that. Don't do it because I'm trying to help y'all. It is general awareness. They just want your dollar and your info.
And it seriously is general awareness. I mean, it really, truly is.
And I'm not saying it to like down anyone. I'm just telling you the truth. If anyone in here has actually taken one of those tests, it takes hours and it costs a lot of money. So I'm just trying to help you, whoever you are, that's going to do it.
On this ball game.
So that's what I was going to go over there and explain. I don't know if anyone would listen or believe, but you can probably look it up yourself. And that's all.
Remember is so we're sitting and one of the Homeland Security guys is there's a connection with him. I think his name was Ryan. And one of my buddies on the phone with when he's like, well, we got this settled, we got everything. It's quick. We was in it. I mean, we was gonna be in and out. And then all of a sudden, we had her all of her clothes, different clothes. She's supposed to change everything, leave everything she's got there, get into the clothes that we provided for her, and we was out of there. That's how simple it's supposed to be. And then, we was going to dress her up, and fool the bodyguard outside because he was just in the waiting room there, just sitting. And so I remember she's coming, she's getting her clothes changed and everything. And then all of a sudden I just hear her crying, just busted out crying. I'm like, what in the world?
Oh, Angel's a new member. It didn't show. There was two people it didn't show me. Oh, welcome. Welcome over here because Constance is now a tiger for the week,
Mm-hmm.
Y'all should feel at home here with your new tiger sister, Roar.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, sorry. Oops, sorry.
She gets her clothes. She's like, oh God. She's sitting there just bawling. She said, I can't go nowhere. And she was being sold to Mexico that week. So we had to act fast. We only had a certain amount of days to act.
How did he know
So I
that?
looked at her and I was like, well, you okay? What's going on?
You're welcome. And that Mr. Nobody's correct about that. He says, so in order to get to the dark web, you need a special browser and you need to know where you're going. There's no search in the dark web part. Like, and that reminded me of the thing that, remember Betty Washam used to say when she was working with that guy to bust out child predators and they had to go through several layers of the dark web.
Mm-hmm.
That's why rapey.com, it wouldn't be, you know what I mean? It's just, come on.
Mm-hmm.
But I was, and anyone, general awareness, yeah. Please don't take the test if you don't want your info taken. Unless you don't care, whatever.
She said, I need to talk to you. I need to tell you something. And just all these tears were just coming, streaming down her face. And she said, she pulled out a little picture.
Oh, dear.
And an address. And she said, give this to my kid and tell mother love. I didn't even know she had a kid. She had it. Now check this out. She had a kid with one of the peoples while she was in human trafficking.
God.
And had a baby. So
I
He
can
just
back
gets
that
more
up.
exuberant in his story.
I'm going back 10 seconds. Sorry. Let me hear that again.
Kid. She had it. Now check this out. She had a kid with one of the peoples while she was in human trafficking and had a baby. So what happened is the guy that she had the baby with kept the child and moved out, left. But he had the child. He kept the child. It was wild.
Why would he keep the child?
Right.
Because that's his daughter.
Because that's his daughter. Duh. This reminds me of some of those people that are on here on YouTube that say they had like dealt with Diddy, you know what I mean? They're like one of the victims and they had kids. There's like a lot of women on here that say their mom was, what was one of them? One of those famous singers.
Hey, Kels.
Oh, I don't know. There's all kinds of wacko stuff on here. That's what it reminds me of.
I love her facial expressions.
Hi, Kels.
Wow.
Did you see that one?
So what happened? So it was
rewind it about 5 seconds. Yeah, and watch her facial expressions.
Okay, I love it. It's going to start happening more and more. I know that.
Because
that's
his daughter. He raised his daughter.
Oh, I paused it in her eye roll, mid eye roll. Look at that shit.
Just like, what the fuck?
Hey, knee pads.
Wow.
I don't know what her name was. I never did get a name.
Well, the link's been put in chat. We can put it in chat again periodically, or maybe.
It's from Hold the Line TV. I don't know her name.
There might be more information. I think there is, and there you can reach her too. Her information was there to reach her. I believe her website or email or something. Okay. There he is. Ernie, did you hear what I said about a minute ago about the IQ test? Just put a yes or a roar in the chat or a lightning bolt.
And
if you heard what I said.
A girl off of Rapey TV when Rapey TV was in Europe. You're so full of shit here. It's hard to be a tiger. You're making it hard to be a tiger, Ernie.
Yeah, don't forget you're a tiger. I also had Const do some practice roar. She did like 4 of them yesterday and 1 today. I'm trying to get her to use her whole diaphragm and use some gusto with this because she is a tiger until next Sunday at 5.
At 5. It can't come quick enough.
But about your IQ test. Okay, so you didn't hear. Okay. So those are not real IQ tests. Okay, it's pretend. It's like those things on Facebook, those tests where you put your favorite color and it tells you something about yourself. And, you answer the 10 questions. What it is it gives you a fake certificate. You think you're getting a test, and then they sell your information to third-party sites like your email and all that. They take your dollar, and that's done. Real IQ tests take several hours. I've sat through them when I was in boarding school, Boston, a co-ed boarding school. All of us had to get one for placement, because there was only three different classes and they had to group us by level, after they gave the test, and it cost a lot of money. And we were there for a couple days because each one of us had to sit with the person and do manipulatives, puzzles, ink blots. It's nothing. You cannot check someone's IQ in 10 questions. So please don't get yourself scammed Or if you want to, at least I've given the information and I feel better about my general awareness. You can make your own choices, of course. I'm just telling you as
And I'm
somebody
not
that
going to drop the link right now because I don't want to get distracted from this article because this is just comedy gold and we're having fun.
I just thought I would tell you that. And so you don't, I mean, you can, it's up to you if you want to do it. I just thought I'd tell you
Mhm.
as somebody that's actually done one. So
So what happened? So what happened?
Ernie, you said you did a 10 question. That's not an IQ test. It takes hours and costs lots of money, not $1. Nobody gives you an IQ test on the computer. You have to sit with a person that's trained in it. I am correct. I don't care what you say. I did the IQ test. It took 2 days. Thank you. Thank you so much.
What? It's a good story. What happened is after she starts crying, and I'm getting this picture, and I was like, what's
But at
going on?
least you
She's
have
like,
yourself
I've got a
another
chip in the
certificate for
back
your
of my
book.
neck. It's a tracking device. I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
oh.
Push pause.
And-
this is where he said he cut out the girl's tracking device in her neck.
Oh my
Rewind
God, I
about
forgot
that.
about this. I forgot
Me
about this part
too.
of it. No, you can make your own choices. I was just trying to help people that might not want to have their information sold, you know what I mean? I was just doing general awareness, Ernie. Okay, let me back
rewind
that up
again.
a tiny bit. We're gonna hear about how rescue the girl and cut out the little device, and here we go.
Good God, Ernie.
Wow.
So what happened? So what happened? It's a good story. So what happened is after she starts crying, and I'm getting this picture, and I'm looking, and I'm like, what's going on? She's like, I've got a chip in the back of my neck. It's a tracking device. I'm like, oh. And then at this time, our crew and our team are like, we know we ain't got no way to get doctor, medical, no surgical or nothing like that.
Yeah.
True story, and I can actually show you people who will vouch for me on this. I take my, how bad do you want to be free?
Tell me, Ernie.
Because I studied up on that. They do it just
No,
like they
you
do
didn't.
the tracking devices they do in animals.
Yeah.
A couple layers under the skin. Well, I know a couple layers under the skin ain't much at all, but where it's at, it's in the fat piece of the back of the neck there. So I took my knife out and we
Yeah,
got
Ernie.
hot water, and I pretty much asked her how much she wanted, how bad she wanted to be free, and we freed her that night. So going out, of course,
With your
blood was all
rough
around her neck. We had
knife.
to wrap towels, and we had to
Look at her
dress
face.
her up to where she's unnoticeable. But I seen the bodyguard as we was going out.
Yeah,
So
look
I'm
at her.
and I'm like, I want to throw his mind even farther. So as we're going off, I'm like,
Oh
like
my
we're drunk
God.
and everything, just running in there. So I said,
Yeah, let's never mind the fact that it's called typically it would be like you could face assault charges. There's a whole, bunch of if you're not like cleared for surgical
Right.
removal, you need a sterile
Right.
environment. You have to be a surgeon. You'd have to go to a real doctor. You know what I mean? There's a lot of things that you could
Ernie,
get busted with, but I
this
mean, it's up to you
lady,
to.
look at her pause game, like Sarah's pause game. She's like, you're so
Oh,
full
that's
of
a good
shit.
one. That's a good one. But I didn't know if you were trying to distract me about the IQ test, but I was just trying to people that did your information stolen. Like I said, it's
Yeah,
up
he
to you.
wasn't.
You probably need to go to a neuropsych to get one done, and they cost thousands of dollars. So there's that, not $1.
I'm going to have a hell of a time in Chicago.
Grinch, I miss you, Grinch. I haven't seen you in a while.
Hey, Grant.
What about you? Don't you just love Chicago?
Yes,
But I
you're
put
right,
that in his
Grinch.
mind. That way, when he knew everything went all to hell, they're going to be like, where'd he go? I remember they said Chicago. She didn't go to Chicago. She went to Texas for a
Lori
month.
got a membership.
Stayed, got everything, got help and everything. Then we tracked her back down, and the guy that had the baby. We reunited them, and they're still together to this day.
Reunited, and it feels so good.
Oh my goodness.
Jesus.
She said, "Oh my goodness."
Yeah.
But I don't, like in the chat, he said we're jokes. I don't know if he's talking about the cutting the device out, or I'm just talking about you would need a sterile environment. If somebody had something that required surgical removal, you'd have to be trained, like be a surgeon or somebody that's got some sort of certificate. Not a,
Yeah.
I would think. And that's just something I'm thinking and
And who's going to put a
presenting.
chip in their hoe? I mean, how much does that got to cost? It costs, a pretty penny to get your dog chipped. You're going to go in and say, "Can I get this hoe chipped?" Who's going to put it? I don't know anybody that does chipping now. I mean, it's talked about, and I don't even know if you can have it done. Because I did say yes, I would have my kids chipped if it was, my kids were little and I was, a young parent again. But I don't even know if
Mhm.
they're even doing it now.
Well, there's external type devices you can wear that are technically tracking
Like
devices,
AirPods or
something like that. It's more sold towards a specific demographic, mainly children that might run autism. You know what I mean?
yes.
As a safety measure, they're not implanted. They're more like an anklet, kind of like a low jack
Hmm.
ankle monitor type thing. That's just for kids that run to keep them safe. But it's somewhat the
Hmm.
same idea. It's just not implanted. But if you meant that what I was talking about, the IQ test, that it was a joke, I'm just telling you my experience and actually having Grinch son, he had one too. And I think it's usually done by a neuropsych.
And the
There.
chips removed by a
What
neurosurgeon.
Right.
it,
That's powerful. That's powerful.
it's something out of a
Okay, you have a question about dang sewing machine? I'll do Discord after.
movie.
It is. It is.
Goodness.
And then, there's so many stories. Oh, wow. And even from bounty hunting, I was a bounty hunter 20 years and I've been licensed. I mean, I can show you all the license and credentials for that. And I've been doing it for like 20 years. So Bob Burton, under Bob Burton's a legend bounty hunter. But that's pretty much where I got my skills at, from tracking and, learning the field in general.
Yeah. So, oh my goodness, you do have stories.
Wait, one more time for those that missed. I'll try to get that in the right spot. Here it comes. I'll try to go do a good pause game.
Learning the field in general.
Yeah. So, oh my goodness, you have stories. We were talking before about this happens all the time. And children are so vulnerable. And I was listening to a girl that was able to survive this trafficking. She says that child services are the worst. And I have, people that are within child services that they're very, very good people. But the organization itself, it's not a good organization. I'm sorry to say. It's just not. There's too much mischief in there.
Not enough
Foster
workers.
parents, they're not vetted properly. And those kids end up in worse shape.
Not enough checks, not enough people.
It's not unusual for kids to grow up and have been in maybe 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different homes and been abused
More than that.
or neglected in most of those. Why do you think that we're not vetting these? I mean, we vet the any animal rescue. My daughter tried to, and I tried to adopt animals.
Yes.
They make you go through all these rigmarole.
Oh, yeah.
But it just seems like if you want to be a foster parent, they don't vet you as much. Why do you think that is?
Because they're really, in general, it's for the good, but
not enough
they're
homes.
really trying to find these kids homes. But here's the fact of the matter is, remember when I said they hide within our society? Anybody can act. Anybody, and the vetting, like you said, vetting is the whole key to this whole thing. The proper vet, the vetting someone. If you go and try to do adoption, you go through hell and high water, and you pay tons of money just to adopt. But when it comes to child, like child care or anything with PS or foster care and all that, it's simple. It's literally simple. They'll give it to anybody. I mean, and that's sad. But again, they hide within our society. There's loopholes, and we know what loopholes are. I mean, look at what kind of government we have now. You see it all the time in politics.
Have a good day, monkey ass.
What's coming across the border?
Yes. Yeah.
It's going to get more and more and more. And to answer your question on to put more into, to emphasize a little bit more on it, every 30 to 40 seconds, a child goes missing. And that's a fact. In the United States, every 30 to 40 seconds, a child goes missing.
Cite your source, Ernie.
We were also talking about this. As parents and grandparents, what can we do to be more aware?
Learn general awareness. General awareness is the key.
Trying.
Prevention is the key for any of this. You want to stop this, you prevent it. How do you prevent it? we can bust a child predator all day long, every day. I mean, it's simple. I can get on their maps and hit one in about 5 or 10 minutes and have them meet up. What does that do? It does nothing. It just takes one from the end of a chain. That's it. Now, if you bust up through the middle and get a whole nice pedophile ring or something like that, that's
Nice
getting
pedophile.
some done. But why not prevent it in the first place?
How do
Because
we
if
prevent it?
if we get smarter in detection and general awareness in preventing this matter from even happening, they get dumber because they get mad. They don't know how to compete with what we're doing. Therefore, they go out of hell. We've rattled that cage so much they give themselves away. You can wear a shirt. You can wear one of our Operation Rock shirts. And I guarantee you, when people see it and they see Rescue Our Children on it, or even better, Predator Hunter Nation, and they see
Shout
that
out.
it ain't just the predators, them animals that you're talking about hunting, they'll stop dead in their tracks 30 foot from you before they get there. And you
Oh
just
my
see it in their
God.
eyes. It's
Wait, I want to try to
Just
get
the
that.
bozos.
Gotta try to pause it.
people see it and they see Rescue Our Children on it, or even better, Predator Hunter Nation, and they see that it ain't just the predators, them animals that you're talking about hunting, they'll stop dead in their tracks 30 foot from you before they get there. And they're like,
Pause game. Take a screenshot. That's all I was trying to get. I really needed that for somebody to get that. Okay. Mr. Nobody's out here. I know that. Okay. That's a pretty good one. You look like you're. Never mind.
and you just see it in their eyes. It stops predators dead in their tracks. It's my motto for the shirt. Now, if you get someone else, they're going to run up to you.
Yes, Kels, that was a pretty good O-face.
Man, I love that shirt. Where'd you get that shirt at? But it's awareness. Everything is awareness.
I've been trying to do general awareness series my best I
Did
can.
a lot better
I'm gonna
than
grab
him.
I'm gonna grab my coffee now, but I'll be right back. So if you see a timestamp, you want to just pay attention. I'll be right back.
That's what you do more of. You want to stick out like a sore thumb to predators and child predators. I'll tell you what, get one of those shirts. You'll tell them right off the bat. You can tell who's who. I had a stop trafficking mask, and I had my friend wear it in Florida. She went to the grocery store in Florida, and they had to have the mask. She put that mask on. She ain't one to believe in masks, but she wore it because of what it said. You wouldn't believe the look she got. People coming up, oh, I love that. But there were certain people who would stop and be like, and you just see the fright look come across her face, like, well, you just give yourself away.
Yeah.
But because that's what it does.
I love
It's
watching her
made to
face.
give yourself away without you even knowing it. It's just like these child predators in Walmart. When I go to Walmart, I'll automatically go to the kids section and walk around to where they put their shoes and stuff on, where the little
Like a
booth sat
true
and everything.
predator.
I automatically go that way because I want to make sure that area is secure. You wouldn't believe how many times that I've had that shirt on. It says "Make pedophiles cry again," and I'd have a jacket. I would walk up behind the guy and him watching a little girl or a little kid put their shoes on, and the way there's certain mannerisms and the characteristics and their persona and everything, the way they move and everything, and catch them rubbing on themselves and everything, and then just and them look back at me, and I just would be like, I wasn't Batman, but I would, and they see that shirt and you see their eye. I mean, you see their skin color leave. It was
Oh,
scared
that's
them
so
to death
bullshit.
because of what the shirt said. Make pedophiles cry again.
It's
Wow.
funny. It's funny to say that. Just this morning, we were watching a video that a guy put on. He has his little girl there, and there's this guy with a mask on, and he's taking pictures of his little girl. So he starts chasing the guy, and the guy is just having a fit. Well, I want to live. I want to live like a little girl without a mask. It's not good. But he was taking pictures of her, and the dad said, "Hey, leave," and the guy just was having a fit because now he was being singled out, and they told him in the store his behavior was so bad. They told him, "You're not welcome anymore," and it was in Walmart. So yeah,
Right.
I mean they're
Exactly.
everywhere.
Did you see I just named Walmart and you just named that story? Did I
Yeah.
talk to you before about Walmart? No,
Yeah.
I didn't. But I know what
Yeah.
Walmart has in store, where people go and where people always sit in them kiddie aisles. And that's why.
Kitty
They
eyes.
sit at parks. Why does someone get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and go to a park and sit down on a bench? I've got photos of me being there at 8, 9 o'clock in the morning, nobody else there, and them sitting hiding behind a tree just waiting. And you know what they're looking at?
Oh my
That child
God.
playground there. They're waiting for their victims. Fact. You don't sit. Some of them would back their vehicles up into the park and just lay their seat back where you don't know what they're doing because the windows and everything, but they got their seat laid back and they're watching kids play on the playground. If that right there ain't sick, I don't know what is. You know,
That changed your
anybody who can
mind.
sexualize a child and think a child is sexy, there's something wrong with them.
Yeah. You know, I was in Las Vegas, and I haven't said this to too many people, but it bears saying because it always seems like it happens to everybody else, but it doesn't. It happened to me one time when we were in Las Vegas and my children were in school, and I took the little one, my youngest one, he was not even 2 at the time. And I went to a different park just to get out of the place. And because we were downtown, not downtown Las Vegas, but in an area, so I thought, let's just go to a nice park. And I came and I drove and I parked, and I didn't realize there was a school over here until afterwards. But I remember that I had a cookbook, and it was a lovely cookbook, and we had a little picnic there and everything. She was right behind. At some point, she got right behind me. So, and she was touching me, so I knew she was there. She wasn't going anywhere. And all of a sudden, I just
Hey,
had a
Mama
bad
Q.
feeling, and I turned around. It was a guy. The guy wasn't even 6 feet away from me, and he was leaning over. And I looked at him, and our eyes met, and I knew he was to take her. And he saw me, and I grabbed my child, and right then, boom, turned right around and just took off. Then I realized I picked her up, picked my bag up, went to my car, and realized, gosh, he had another there, 2 of them.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went in the car, and my phone had just died. But I was trying to see if I could get something. And when they saw me on the phone, they skedaddled really fast. Oh my gosh, what could have happened just now?
Yes.
I mean, he was willing to grab the child and run off and get into our car. That bold. We came here into Illinois in 96. So it had to be between 95, somewhere in there. Mm-hmm. That bold. It's absolutely amazing. There's also apps, aren't they, Annie? You can have that tells you who's who in the neighborhood.
Well, there's plenty of apps. Yes, they are. There's a lot.
Are they efficient? Are they good things to have?
They are. Any of them. The sexual registry is really, really good to do, and I can actually let me think about the name. There's actually it's abbreviation. I just got to think about what it is here in a minute. But it's nationwide. It's a national wide sex registry. It's free on your app. It tells you the grid on where sexual predators are at. It actually shows you a grid and a map. We could actually include that link in the post that you in this video.
We could. That'd
be awesome. That'd be awesome. And I'll get that to you. I don't want to mess this app up, and I don't want to mess this link up, but I do know it, and I'll get it to you as soon as that's over. As soon as this is over. So here's the thing. When you say that, but here's the thing that we don't look at. Remember, we got to think differently if we're going to think about how to avoid sexual predators. Because what we're seeing is, we're looking for an app that already knows to identify people who are already caught. The fact of the matter is, child predators. And
I just wanted to let you know I'm back and need to pause and rewind it. There was a few things that was making me cringe, but it was too.
Go ahead. Just want to comment on them. I'm going to run and get a pop real quick.
And
all right, I'll just play it for now.
Traffickers and child predators in general are not usually caught. Only a few % is actually caught. So how many is actually out there that doesn't get caught? A lot. We only know the ones that get caught. And that's what we base our fears on, or we base our cautiousness on and around them, right? While we're focusing on them, what's right amongst us that we don't know? People don't look that way. See, you got to train your mind differently.
How do we get, because this is a passion for you and for me. One, because I know people that have been missing, that children that have been missing, and two, it almost happened to me. How do we start to train parents to be more aware? At least we know the ones that are being registered and they're in that area. We have the app. We know that we need to keep an eye on that area. But
what I want to do, what I started out wanting to do, and this was in Asheville, North Carolina. I had a group that come up to me and they was like, "We need you because you could teach this, you could teach these people, and you could do these seminars, and you know what you're doing, and hell, you've already got a curriculum built." And I'm like, "Hey, well,
Constance has been asking for that, by the way. I just thought I would chat about that.
I'm game for that." At the same time, they had these other people who were internet stars that was supposedly knowing what, there's a lot of people who say they know and who say they can do it. But when it comes down time to actually walk that walk,
Mama T, this is an interview. It's a really old one. We've played it a few times in the past. It's from 2021, but I'll share the link again in chat since Constance stepped away.
they don't know what, they don't have a clue.
Her information's in the description.
They're the ones that I don't want to out nobody. I do not want to out nobody, but there's no proof of them ever doing anything. That's why I want to do videos with me. That's why I do live videos of everything I do. I mean, people are like, "Oh, you do is live," but look what I'm doing. Look who I'm rescuing. Look at this. That right there in itself is documentation saying, "Hey, this man and this team does it." We don't just talk it, and we don't just sit around holding a sign up.
There it is.
Sit around on a keyboard, sitting on a couch behind the screen. We don't do that. We get out there and we do it. We insert ourselves into situations.
I gotta get back over there.
So you have to train your mind and mindset.
Did that bozo just say that he did everything on live video, and every mission he's done it on live, so it can be verified? We ain't seen shit from him.
Well, let's verify we heard that correctly. I will go back to 34:45. I might cover it.
Sitting on a couch behind the screen. We don't do that. We get out there and we do it. We insert ourselves into situations. Situations are always different, though. So you have to train your mindset, your skills, your training level, everything. You have to make it another level higher.
Yeah. And the training is pretty tough, isn't it?
I missed the recording part, didn't I? I'm sorry, guys. We just have to hear that part.
I do not want to out nobody, but there's no proof of them ever doing anything. That's why I want to do videos with me. That's why I do live videos of everything I do. I mean, people are like, "Oh, you do is live," but look what I'm doing. Look who I'm rescuing. Look at this. That right there in itself is documentation saying, "Hey, this man and this team does it." We don't just talk it, and we don't just sit around holding a sign up or sit around on a keyboard, sitting on a couch behind the screen. We don't do that. We get out there and we do
Couches.
it. We insert ourselves into situations.
Really?
Situations are always different, though. So you have to train your mind and mindset, your skills, your training level, everything.
I just gotta say, that was a perfect comment for somebody named Coach Tiger. The timing was great.
You have to make it another level higher.
Yeah. And the training is pretty tough, isn't it? You were a bounty hunter 20 years, and that's going to be some training. That's interesting.
Right.
20 years.
So then how did you get from being a bounty hunter to now, well, you're actually hunting predators of a different kind?
In a way, you can say they're hunting. A lot of people, they're like, "Well, he's a pedophile hunter." And I'm like, well, if you really want to say pedophile hunter, that's actually illegal. What we do is, with general awareness, we insert ourselves into situations where we know people are in trouble or, they can't get the help they need at that moment in time. We'll actually try our best and help them. We'll go and we'll literally rescue them pretty much. I mean, we do it all. I mean, even, I named 2 or 3 different victims in the last 4 months. And we went and just, "Hey, forget it. We got this. We'll go do it." And, on our own dime, we do it on our own dime and our own time. So, pretty much that's what we do. There's been times that, sometimes.
I was going to ask if you wanted to answer Terry about, real information, because of course anybody would want real information, but I'm not sure if you wanted to answer her.
Well, if none of you have Well, if none of you have ever had this happen to you, count your blessings, okay? The people that this happened to them would really like this information. It's called 911, Terry. If a girl comes to you and says, my sister's been in human trafficking, I found her on my own after all these years, I'm in contact with her, you go to 911, not Ernie Shell. Because if you go to 911 and you should happen to have a chip cut out of your neck, you're not going to risk gangrene by having Ernie's rusty old pocket knife cut it out. Come on now, use your brain. Use your general awareness. Use your IQ that God gave you.
Well, y'all got certificates now.
Yeah. Y'all are
I
smarter
talked about
than this.
that. I did talk about that earlier, a little bit of general awareness, but it wasn't taken too well by some. But I was just giving my experience with
Words
my
can
real IQ
Did you
test
want
that I
to
had done.
verbal?
help people. Sometimes it takes action. You know, you can pray to God, you know, numerous times. You can pray to God all you want
Nobody.
to. Even David had to pick up a stone.
Yeah. Yeah. Action, action, action. Here's what gets
You
things
have
done.
to have action.
Yeah. So let me ask you, you work with this group of people, but you also work with police. You do both.
We do. We try to work with police on 95% of everything. And there's certain, and here's something too, certain laws that need changed, especially the Tennessee laws, TCA codes and things of that nature. They protect child predators. That's why a lot of times people see us busting these child predators, and it's the sickest thing you could ever see on these chat logs. And then they're like, well, where's the police? Why ain't the police rolling in? Well,
True.
law, it's proven fact that no vigilante club or no kind of private citizens or no kind of citizens, unless you are law enforcement, there's no joint operation. You can't do it because the prosecutors won't take up the case.
Why?
With good reason.
Because it wasn't law enforcement that initiated it.
Which is why, to the best of my knowledge, the predator hunter that came to mind that I have seen some of his videos, he went on the stand once, actually, Alex. He does work by talking to police, coordinating the effort so that they can then take the chat logs and then do what they will with the person, and usually they arrest them.
And there's checks and balances on who's doing the bust. You can't have people up there with no credibility make it a bust, or people up there with exuberant imaginations that tell these stories that make busts, because then it's not credible. You have to be vetted to be a staying operator. Mr. Nobody's on fire today.
But he does call the police, Alex.
Yeah, Alex does, yeah.
It don't make no sense.
It doesn't make any sense.
It's a loophole. It's a loophole for people like predators to get off. They have to have that little bitty.
So,
and there's some states that stick it to them. I mean, Alabama. Oh God, Alabama's got some wild laws, especially with child predators. Oh my God, they don't put up with that at all. And I'm gonna give you a good friend of mine, David Humphreys. Great guy. He runs the Alabama Human Trafficking Alliance. And I'm telling you right now, we was in just say the Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg area, Tennessee. And one of our friends, her sister had gone missing. Her sister had been missing for 2 or 3 months. No clue how to find her. Police departments couldn't do nothing at all. The area he was spliced in was a bad human trafficking area. They just couldn't do nothing. I called my friend, David, and I'm telling you right now, within an hour, he had a team spot check, had her within 2.5 hours, and it was amazing. It was amazing.
I just got a question that has nothing to do with this. Mama T, are you going to change your to just Mama T? I was just wondering. I happen to notice one of your former members is now just them, so I was wondering if you're going to do that. That's all. You don't have to answer.
That's what we need. That is a team. That is a team that everyone, should feel safe with. David, a great guy. I mean, he's awesome. And what he does with his agencies and alliance.
Caught that, Sammy Joe?
You can't beat this guy.
Why do you suppose that every state is not the way that this Alabama state is? Why is the legislature not up to
it's legislature? It's I hate getting into politics more than anything, but it's the truth. It's the truth. It's just like we all know the Second Amendment. Look at the cities and states that have the problems with the rights. Look at the leaders. What are they? Who are they? More or less what I should say.
Yeah.
But, you know, like I said, I don't get into politics that much, try not to. And if I don't know on it, I try not to speak on it, but it is something that's in my heart. You know, when you say politics in general, I mean, and you name a subject or a situation with human trafficking, it speaks for its own. It speaks for its own. Look at what's going in the border. Look what's coming in the border right now. I mean,
I heard, correct me if I'm wrong, I heard that some of the children that were being brought in and they were filmed by these so-called daddies, and they were asleep. They couldn't get kids up, clearly drugs. And mommy, oh, mommy, abandoned. So you got 7 or 8 guys, mommies, you know, the wives and the mommies abandoned them. Of course, it's nonsense. Now I'm hearing that these kids are being sold on the dark net.
oh yeah, they will be.
Unbelievable.
And they film them for a reason. It's the pick of a litter. Think about it.
Do you think he's referring to the rapey.com thing? I think that's what she's responding to.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, man.
You don't think these kids are auctioned off somewhere way before they even go in to sell? People know where they're going automatically before.
How do you know that?
Rusty, she might be knitting, Rusty. You never know.
That's where that video comes in. Look here. I want this one here.
But
I'll lay 50,000, 100,000.
Were you going to say something?
I forgot.
Oh, I thought you were talking. Okay, sorry.
It might have been, but I forgot
the
already.
video was from the guys at the border.
Mhm.
Those are our guys. They're videoing and showing this.
You know,
Exactly. Sorry.
when you get into situations, remember there's always bad people and there's always weeds in the garden. Let's just say that. Let's just, you know,
It could
there's
be
always weeds in the
those
garden.
guys coming in. There's nothing to say they don't have their own cameras.
No.
And who says that they're actually filming and doing this on our side? They're bringing them from the other side. Maybe they're doing all the filming and singing. Who knows what they're doing? But
It's a different agency now. I was looking at the qualifications, and there's still tough qualifications to go for Border Patrol, but you don't have no structure no more. There's no foundation no more in it. You know, when you can walk by an agent, when you walk by a border agent and them not be able to say nothing to you at all, you know, what do you do?
Why are they not allowed to?
Pretty much issuing down orders.
And
Where did those orders come from? The governor, the president?
Right?
Yeah.
The White House, or whatever you want to say, with the legislation of that, the Lord have mercy. But that's what's happened. That's what happens with it. You start. Remember, you can't have a problem. You can't have a problem if you don't have a person committing the problem.
Oh my God.
It's impossible. You can't just.
Jibber jabber, word salad. You can't have a problem unless you have a person to start the problem.
Oh,
Terry, did you learn that from Ernie too? Is that some knowledge that you took to make? Oh, Ernie, just like Renee. Wow, Ernie, I never thought of it like that. There can't be a problem without a person making a problem. You taught me so much, Ernie. God.
Let's hear that again. We need to make sure we all got that the first time, so I'm going to play it a second time. Now make sure you're all paying attention. This is where the big learning comes. Ready?
Remember, you can't have a problem. You can't have a problem if you don't have a person committing that problem. You can't have a problem. It's impossible. You can't just have a problem. It don't happen. You don't just run into a problem unless something something's purpose for that problem. Something has to be part in order to have a problem. Like a natural problem. So you go out and get a flat tire. Well, you got a problem. You got
can't have a flat tire if you don't have a flat tire.
You got a problem. Oh, what an idiot.
What caused that flat tire? Well, they had to be a nail or something in the road, right? You know, or natural, it just popped, you know.
I have a bulb out right now and a couple bulbs out on my car, so I guess I can't have a Bulb out
I guess
without
you
a
got a
bulb out.
problem.
There's always something, even natural,
Got a
that
problem.
causes a problem. With this, I mean, well, I mean, you can just watch the news. And when you find the news that actually broadcast it, remember what I say. What the media wants us to see is what we see. They don't get to see this thing like me and you did, you and I in Kenosha. We got to see the backstory of it. We was right in it.
Yeah. And I got there late. Yeah, and there's plenty to see.
Well, did you notice how in anything ever happened, when anything happened,
So Terry, I just wanted to point out, Terry Girl says Terry Southern Girl, no, I'm actually driving right now. So if I get stopped, I will let you know what I've learned. Okay.
Well, how are you ever
So
going to know if you got a problem if you don't listen to Ernie?
Because she doesn't have a problem unless the problem started. We just learned that.
It's not a problem yet.
We'll learn about the problem.
media run straight to whatever was going on with their cameras, right? They would run and boom. From that point on, they make up their own story on what happened. As long as they've got video of it, they can cut angles, whatever they want to do.
Very
they can
animated in this
they
one
can
with
show
the
you the big
hands.
picture, show you how many people was there, or they can zoom it in and show two people fighting.
Yeah.
But they don't, you know, that's up to them how their agenda and how they want you to, you know, take that in.
It really is.
Yeah, I
Christine,
think this, when I was,
What was that?
I told Christine said sad, and I said yes, it really is. It's sad as fuck. You got a problem?
She can't have a problem unless there's a problem.
He's a problem. She
over
said,
there, I was,
Unless there's a problem.
I knew I was there late and I wasn't going to get very much, but I wanted to see what the town had to say. And I talked to some of the residents. I ended up getting coffee for the guys because some of the guys, security guards, and you were gone. But we
imagine
got
that.
chocolate
You
and
wasn't
coffee
one.
for them. And I was talking to some of the business owners, and they kept saying that, you know, is the media. She goes, if people come here and they yell at each other and they fight, they yell at each other and they fight, and that's it. You know, when they have troublemakers, the police will take care of it. Last year was bad, but they had more complaints about the media than they did about the troublemakers.
Exactly.
Because
even Black Lives Matter, they was there. Antifa was there.
Yeah.
Black Lives Matter looked straight at the media and said, well, I mean, this actually touched my heart. They said, you all are the problem. And they did. There was a member there that was talking to the media like that. And I was like, wow, he gets
Remember,
it.
he was there to protect the
to me,
media. If you listen to Ernie, he was there protecting the media. He was hired to protect the media. He was there protecting the problem.
So they have a problem.
They had a big
couldn't
problem.
have a problem without the problem.
He said, you know, they make us out to be bad people.
That's the
All I
problem.
can say is, look, I understand your problem, and I understand,
Kevin has no
you know,
problem.
I don't
Not a
look at you
problem.
as that way, and I never will. He said, and then they even talked to me. It was like, you seem like a cool dude, but you do seem like you more the law enforcement type. And I'm like, look, I'm for law and order. I am. They said they was for law and order, but they said, what you don't understand is what goes on. These cameras ain't here. What goes on behind the scene? Live here, they said. You don't live here. That hit home hard because I see videos all the time, and it ain't the person that's getting its fault. I've seen it. You know, I've seen people get kicked in the face for nothing. But that's why I said I get it. But what they don't understand.
Kicked in the face for nothing?
Well, that's a
What
problem.
he said? That's a problem. But it just made me think of something.
Absolutely,
Let me see.
Michelle.
I gotta go back a little bit. 45, 47. That's good. Right there. Let me try that.
Live here, they said. You don't live here. That hit home hard because I see videos all the time, and it ain't the person that's getting arrested's fault. I've seen it. You know, I've seen people get kicked in the face for nothing.
I seen somebody once on video get kicked through a trailer skirt.
But that's why I said I
That was
get
the
it.
problem.
But what they don't understand,
So
and what
it's
a lot of people
probably
don't
had a
understand.
problem.
You see how I had to say they, what they don't understand? I automatically separated them with my words. We have to, that because that's what it's made to do. That's what, that's what's put in our life to do is separation. I should say, because anytime I say they, I separate. I just separated me from them
From the
and what they
problem.
believe. Did you see what I'm
That'd be
talking about?
they.
Because I said
Me
they.
from them is they.
Well,
But they do,
they're like us.
but they
They're
do
blood
have
red.
a different school of thought. And I think this is different of what I have seen. My experience has been that there's those guys that truly think that Black
That's what I
Lives
thought
Matter,
too,
and
Linda.
therefore they're going to, they're going to go ahead with it. And then there's the leadership, which a lot of them aren't Black. And then you get the leadership that have made all this money and couldn't care less about those businesses whose owners are indeed Black, and they're destroying that. We're talking about millions of dollars.
Sorry,
They
Steve.
become very
Exactly.
rich. They bought many homes, and they couldn't care less about the guy who
Right.
these malcontents are
Couldn't care
burning down
less.
their
Got it
businesses,
right.
their homes, and they are indeed
Well,
Black.
They don't exactly. They don't care about their own followers. The one that take up on their word it's just like one of the speakers was at the rally there, or at the Kyle Rittenhouse trial verdict thing there, and he was saying, whoever come up with Black Lives Matter is a genius in marketing, and they are,
Yeah.
because they got rich off of it.
Oh yeah.
And they throw the word out there, and then they got it around spreading. But the people doing it, and the people who are actually the members of Black Lives Matter, what did they get out of it? Do they get new homes? Are they millionaires now? No.
No, they
The leaders,
get the impression that racism is alive and well, and it's not. See, I don't believe that. I don't believe my grandchildren are half Black.
I understand that.
There's more biracial couples
Ernie.
today than at any other time in the history of this country.
It's good.
But racism is very profitable. It's very profitable.
His fingers
And a
were
great
hypnotizing
tool.
you.
And so-
it's all about money. It's
Of
about
course it
following the
is.
money.
It's money control and divide and conquer. As long as you can divide the country, then they get these malcontent cabal members, and it's all financed by Joe Soros, by the way. They are getting, they think they're getting their way. But I think a lot of the people are waking up and they're getting fed up, because how can you possibly justify a movement that's saying we're doing this on behalf of Black people, and then you're running around
Oops, sorry.
burning businesses and burning homes that belong to Black people?
Exactly.
It doesn't make any sense.
I've seen some reports as Black people, their businesses got destroyed.
Yeah.
And they was out there and they was crying. They was like, look,
Yes.
we are you, and look what you're doing to us. And that really hit home. That really made a lot of sense too. What's wild is people are like, well, you're not really white. I'm not. I'm Indian. I've got a lot of Cherokee
you're
Indian
not.
blood in me, and I'm
Oh my God. Indian blood in you.
Well, I never knew that you weren't white until now.
Remember, he's supposed to be related to Geronimo.
Well, I knew you had some native. The correct term would be native, but I didn't know you were not white at all. I mean, until this, video.
more of a tannish-like looking color. And I've
Your
had people
pasty
come up
fuck.
to me and tell me right off the bat that I'm racist. Like right off the bat, I'm like, racist.
Well, coming from tribal lands, I know that the natives here prefer the term native. We don't say Indian here. We say Native Americans.
Me, I'm racist, huh? They don't know that my boxing trainer was Black. He was like my dad, literally.
I can't be racist. My boxing trainer was Black. Oh my God, Ernie. Good thing this wasn't on national TV. You're not ready yet. He probably does, JW. That's what he meant. He had some Indian in him, not or on him.
And and the people I grew up with, great friends, and who are of color, and I've got Mexican friends. I mean, everybody was like, wow. And because they don't want to have a conversation. And they don't
Wow.
even care about the conversation. It goes out the window because they know they can't win. That's what happens. If you can't win, you get mad. If you play a video
And
game
then you start,
and if you can't beat that video game pretty soon enough, you get so mad you end up throwing the controller, getting mad, just quitting all in general and screaming. That's what they do.
I
That's where
know.
it comes in at. That's where stuff like that comes in at.
yeah.
They can't win. There's no logic. There's no
I'm gonna try
logic.
TV.
I believe in
It's-
this, and it states it all. All lives matter.
Yeah, of course.
On that.
I was just trying to figure out where the analogy of the video game had to do with that, but I guess I got lost.
Of
All
course.
lives
It went
got
over my
lost
head,
too.
I guess. Went over my head.
Lisa, could you get on his genealogy and prove this fool that he's not Native American?
Must have failed the IQ test. Bad.
Yeah.
Black lives matter. Green lives matter. Yellow lives matter. Purple, pink, whatever color. Brown. All lives matter. Simple.
So, but yeah, that's one of the things that we can have to contend with. But yeah, we have a racial problem that they want to continue because it's very profitable and but the real problem is security in the country, and what are we going to do with our securing our children? That is the real problem. That and as again, the problem with the children is
Well, that's debatable. Some would say systemic racism, but we're not going to get into that debate.
extraordinarily.
So have you heard anything about it's the CNN Chris Cuomo?
No,
Or
I
something
don't.
like that he they're now seeing it
I don't get anything, Mama T. You got it.
on Kyle Rittenhouse's the verdict that he understands and like he agreed with the verdict or something. Was that something real big lately? You know, him being a reporter, I heard something like that, and it was like, wow. And,
I
you know,
have not heard that, but I mean, what
Stolen
I
valor,
yeah,
stolen
so
native.
I've never heard that term. I've known people that have done that though.
Frito,
Right.
yeah, they called him. I thought his name was Frito, but no, somebody called him Frito, and he got very mad, almost punched him in the face or something.
Nobody.
No, I think he's done. I think his brother, the governor, I think he's
Oh
cooked.
yeah. And he's got even more charges on him now. They left the governor's deal. He's got another 2 or 3 cases against him.
Well, I think these sexual harassment cases are coming up with as a justification for what he did with the nursing homes. Those governors are going to pay the price. But yeah, it's. I think we're winning. Despite we are winning. And I think that as we you've been so generous with your time, but and I hope that we can do this again, because I know you have the same passion as I do, and you have so many stories and you have so many things that can help parents and grandparents. And that's our goal. That's our Ernie. That's our passion, and we have to do something. But yeah, I want to.
Actually, MacB, I did hear something about Mayan ancestry before too, but that was a long time ago. So I don't know anymore.
On a really positive note, and that would be that as thick as this is right now, and we're in the thick of things, and as bad as things seem to be, we are endangered.
I've heard we're going to have a good Christmas in the year.
That's what I keep hearing. I'm not going to go with any dates or anything, but I'm hearing the same thing. I think we're going to be very happy, and I think that we're at the tipping point. And that near-death experience that Juan O'Sullivan was talking about, it's there. But I think I'm an optimist, and I'm going to say that we're going to do good.
I think our next conversation, our next video should be about January 6th and the videos that's not been seen.
And you know a lot about that, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
We're going to be very cheeky. I want to leave there. Then
I've had the Homeland Security visit me twice already about some things, and they were like, oh my God, good God. Let's save it for the next episode.
Yes, we're going to be cheeky and leave it till next time, because I know you told me some stories about that, and you got video that nobody else has seen.
Yeah, I've got a video nobody's seen. And it just shows that Antifa in front and them trying to start some trouble. It also shows Capitol Police and the mood they was already in when the Patriots arrived, how they arrested the Patriot for just moving a chain and him handicapped, literally. Come on now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ridiculous.
But
they were just waiting. It just takes that spark. It takes that spark to start that fire, and that's what they wanted.
yeah. So yeah, let's go into more detail in this whole thing, because those people have been there without a trial, without some of them without even charges. They have not been charged, and they're just sitting there
Well,
rotting
some
away.
of them's not even been heard from. We don't even know.
Yes. Yeah, it's not the American way. This is not how we do things. And this is a crime. And I hope that people that are responsible for this will pay. But yeah, like I said, I think despite of all this.
Did you have something to say or keep playing?
I think
Lisa said, I could comment something about his ancestry that would really trigger him. And I said, do it.
Do you need a link?
that we're winning and that good things are coming our way. So let's hope and pray that this is indeed
Do
so.
you need a link?
And anyway, Ernie, thank you so much for this time.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys. Thank
and
you.
Let's work together and see what we can do to just
all right, you picked the curiosity. Come on now. Spit it out.
and grandparents informed, and let's do our
Do you need a
best
StreamYard?
to keep children safe.
Well, the whole thing I want to do, if I could do it, I would love to just travel and teach general awareness.
Yes.
I was talking about earlier about how we was hitting up on the seminars. I mean, I actually had people who wanted, sponsor me and this and do that. But here's the thing about it. They wanted me to charge $40 to $50 to $60 a head, a person, to come in a building and learn. And I'm sitting here thinking like,
oh, wow,
why would I do that? Why do I want to charge $40 and $50 to someone who may not have it in this economy and time? I know they don't have it. And, they could use that $40 or $50 for their kids, children, grandchildren, for their family in general, food on the table. You know what? Set me a donation jar in my travel expenses and food expenses. I'm game all day long.
What you mean, Lisa?
They could not believe I said that. They wanted to make it off a marketing and money-making deal. I don't want that. I don't think that general awareness, there's a price that you should put in general awareness, because if it's something that protect a child.
Can you please consider inviting her to the panel, please? Because I can't take it.
If it's something that helps protect families and it's something that I can give to you.
That's true. Whatever you like, but just saying. You could put the link out maybe, and maybe she will take a bite.
I want to give it to you.
Come on, a panel.
If it's going to help your family, I want you to have that.
That sounds great. And as we go forward, we should start thinking about something like that, because it's imperative.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Anyway, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And we'll talk again real soon.
Cool. Thank
Stay
you.
Safe,
Appreciate
it. And thank you for holding that line, because I know you guys do.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Thank you. Appreciate it.
See you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye-bye. Okay.
Oh, damn, that was loud.
That was Hold the Line. The next one I put in back.
Okay, I was just going to ask if you wanted to see if yours is working. I don't mind playing another one. It's up to you. If not, I'll be your backup.
This one's 30 minutes long.
You'll just have to drop me at first. And then if it doesn't work, I'll prepare. Actually, I'll get it ready just in case. If you have it back there. Did you stop me off the screen yet?
Yeah, I think I did.
Let me see.
Tell me, guys, if this is choppy sounding or whatever. This is from Ziggy's channel on January 2022. Ernie Shell LARPing Fantastic.
Oh.
This is where he's just being all kinds of over the top LARPing, and these ladies are making fun of him on channel.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
But I know he does a lot of LARPing in this video. It's 30 minutes, and then I'll be done. Okay, let's see if it plays.
Maybe I've seen a clip of it, but I never really went to the channel.
Well, I'm out here with the Special Forces of Liberty, anti-human trafficking and child exploitation, and we're actually at the base right now, the headquarters, getting ready to set out for a 60-day plus mission where we go over and meet senators, legislative members,
You want
Congress
to pause it
members
for 1
on
second?
getting our laws passed for human trafficking and child exploitation. And
How's that sound, guys?
I just wanted to get a sound check to make sure it's working. It sounds good on my end. It sounds like way better than
Better
earlier.
than last time.
How's the sound?
Terry, did you really learn that, or was that common sense? Of course, it's common sense that predators can be rich or poor, short or skinny, tall, thin, fat, professional, non-professional. Predators are anybody. Common sense. Common sense. IQ score of 119. You should know that.
Right. You got the certificate, which I did talk about earlier. If you missed the beginning, somewhere in the beginning.
And I wonder if Ernie had to teach you that, how do you get through life? How do you get through life about other things that Ernie didn't teach you? Okay, well, let's go ahead and play until someone says it sucks. Okay, here we go. This is Ernie. On panel, Ziggy, J. Marie, Stormy, and Carrie. This is
I don't know
Ziggy's
some
panel,
of these people.
2022. It says, Ernest Shell has been popping up on many Summer Wells YouTube panels looking for promotion. Ziggy, please let me know and I will happily take this video down. I am not monetized in any way. And this is a clip from Glow V. And I'll put the link in the description.
Do you think you could take off the pinned comment just because there's actual
Yes,
video
ma'am.
on there?
Ooh. Yes, ma'am. I can't remember where I'm putting. Okay, that's right. From
Mama
Glow
T's getting the
V.
email. Mama T's getting the deets.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go.
plus mission where we go over and meet senators, legislative members, Congress members on getting our laws passed for human trafficking and child exploitation and child trafficking and how to get stuff in and out of schools. So it's going to be pretty wild. It's part of the mission, and most of it's general awareness. And I'm going to be coming live to you, the people. We're going to be seeing exactly what your leaders and who you elect and what they actually think about you. They'll be under camera and not even know it. So doing pretty good.
Where's that where, I mean, is that Tennessee or?
No. I'm actually, this is in Alabama. It's an undisclosed area in Alabama. It's at
Okay.
a mansion. It's a mansion lake house. And
It looks,
pretty
it
wild.
looks nice.
Oh yeah.
Really
And
nice.
It was
it's
Christy's
awesome
house.
because you can actually see, you behind me, you see the cross. You see that?
Do you want to pause that for a
See
second?
that?
Cool. That is
The
beautiful.
cross. And then of course out by the
Do
lake.
you want to pause
Beautiful.
for a second?
So yeah,
No, not
pretty
yet.
wild
That
place.
looks so cool.
Yeah, you were stuck in the snow yesterday. I'm
Oh
surprised you
God, I was
made it.
stranded. I was stranded for like 6 hours, and then I was in Virginia first. But I came from New
Constant.
York.
Oh, there you are.
It was a sudden mission that we uptook, and I came from New York and then got stuck in Virginia, and I was stuck for 9.5 hours there on the highway, and then got
Could
out
you
of that
please
and
pause
got back
it?
into Tennessee and got stuck into.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I didn't think you heard me. I didn't mean to ask so much. Did you want to address Christine's comment or skip it?
I didn't see it. What'd she say? Christine said,
I would.
Connie, just saying,
would-
put yourself into the predatory behavior with chipping along. Sorry, not sorry. No, put yourself into the non-predatory behavior. If I have my kids chipped, I have my information to my kids chip. You're not going to know where my kids chipped. And if it should get lost, then that's my choice that I want to find my kid.
I feel like
There's
the
no-
chipping thing comes up a lot. It shouldn't bother you as much. I mean, it really does come up so much. It's like mentioned like at least 100 times. You
Yeah.
do realize there is no chip in her kids and they're grown, right? So there's no chance of doing it. She's speaking hypothetically like she
Yes.
have considered it, right?
I
Because you
said my
guys,
kids. I will never make you chip your kid. If you don't want to chip your kid, I'm not going to be a Nazi about it.
she was saying,
if it was
yeah,
up to me. Yeah.
it was just something she thought would keep track of them. It's never going to happen. Her kids are grown. There's no chance of chipping. I just wanted to make sure you knew the difference, that it was hypothetical, because it does come up
And
a
like
lot.
Phil said, what's the big deal? Ernie has a chip. Was he human trafficked? Did his human traffickers put his chip in his head?
And there
who do you
are
read it?
And there are some types of, I wouldn't say chip, but like I was talking about, there are external devices that people do put on their child safety, children with autism that run, and it's really been beneficial for those families that have, because that's something that some people live with, and it does help them retrieve their kid.
Well, I don't need a website to tell me how many live around me. I'm assuming that anybody I don't know could be a pedophile. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna assume that they are a pedophile, but until I know you, I'm gonna assume that you could be, especially if I got my children around you. I don't need a website to see how many around me. Go to your church and look around there. There's nobody in there telling you how many are, but bet you there's a good few predators in there. Go into the Pizza Hut, your Walmart, any business, and tell you there's going to be pedophiles in there because it's the sample of the population that, there's pedophiles everywhere.
Right. And there are apps. There are apps that you can put right on your phone, iPhone, Android, whatever, and it will tell you with little flags where they are in your neighborhood. Touch of a couple buttons on your phone. So that's one way too. You can look for those that registered.
I want to know if the chips come with dip.
And I know in my library, they post all their pictures in the library too, right when you walk in the door.
Mm-hmm. There, this technology is everywhere, but I don't need anybody to tell me that my neighbor might be a pedophile. I'm assuming that he might be a pedophile. They don't look. Pedophiles don't have a certain look. They're everybody. But as much as
everywhere, pretty much. They could be, but also you shouldn't be to the point where you're living in complete fear and completely not living life that you think everybody's a predator. It shouldn't get to that point if anybody is, because that's not normal, healthy either. All you have to do is basically keep an eye on your children. I mean, it's pretty basic. Don't let them go off alone, much as you can when they're younger.
Always keep an eye on them. Always. As crazy as it is, I sit outside and watch my dogs when I take them out potty. I don't let them go out in the backyard by themselves. I sit out there with them just because, what if one jumps the fence, or what if a cat comes along, or what if. But
and today's modern technology does help a lot better. Like most parents nowadays, where they didn't have this before, when mine were younger, a lot of the kids now have phones, Android or iPhones, and you can track your family. There's an app right on there. You can check their location. You can have it set in the settings that you know where they're at too.
Yeah, and you have to watch your children on the computer and on the phone.
I'm
too.
So glad that my video games
was the tail end of that. My boys were just grown when this all happened. I didn't have to watch it too much at all. I mean, our dial-up was that commercial with the little boys on the skateboard saying, "Mom, tell me when it loads," because it was like it'd take 4 days for the internet to load.
And then some video games are not online, like the video games that we have in our house. We're not connected to any kind of a group chat. You can play video games like we do the Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Wii. I don't do all those games that go online and you have to talk to people on games. Like that's just not going to ever happen here.
Dustin was 18.
No weirdos are talking to my kid. Nope.
Yeah, he was talking to the TV. We were at my grandma's house, and my grandma's like, Dustin would say something, Grandma would answer. Dustin would say something, Grandma would answer. I was like, Grandma, he's not talking to you. Well, who the hell is he talking to? I'm talking to the TV. It was crazy. Okay, back to Ernie.
Yeah. About 5.5 hours there. So an 18-hour trip turned into be about a 37-hour trip.
Wow.
Yeah, I saw that.
Wow.
So a lot of the girls in the chat are saying you're cute.
Oh God, I get that a lot, and I appreciate that.
I get that.
And you guys, one good way, one good way to help everything is you guys support our movie coming out, Predator Hunter Nation 22. It's gonna be a badass movie. You get to see action. You get to see it's based on real life. You actually get to see. I mean, there's a lot of mystery around me, and I'm starting to come out and talk to people about who I am and what I do and what I've done for years. I've sat on many panels, many Congress. Judiciary panels and talk about human trafficking, child trafficking.
Judiciary
and,
panels?
A lot of people don't know, but I'm the actual operations director for the Special Forces of Liberty and what we do with training and general awareness, So, so I do a lot. I do a whole lot.
A movie coming out about him, and he's a mystery. And you can see him doing live action figures.
Lenny, that's a valid point, too. I mean, any predator can wear a shirt that says anti-predator too to make you say, "Oh, look, he's against predators." I mean, that's a fact that can happen.
Good. That's good general awareness right there.
It's a good observation and something to think about. Just because they have a shirt on does not mean they are safe. I mean, yeah, you can't just trust a shirt.
Amen.
Yeah, that is general awareness.
And
just
if
learn
someone
that in
tells
class.
you to wear a shirt and it stops them in their tracks, don't believe it, because a shirt isn't going to stop anybody in their tracks. You can't put on a shirt and be protected from predators. That's more general awareness.
However, you can look at the symbol on the shirt and use that shirt as a reminder that to be aware.
True.
You can use it as awareness.
Lenny said these pals make fun of him. He was too stupid to know it. I know these girls do make fun of him. It's hilarious. Okay. Remember Jenny Penny? I barely remember Jenny Penny.
I don't know a couple of these on here, to tell you the truth.
And those girls, if they think I'm cute and everything, they can meet our members and everything. We'll be going to different state houses. It's a different state every day. So if we're in your area and hell, y'all want to
meet, if you want to meet Ernie Shell himself.
No, wait a minute. They know. Wait a minute. They know super chats going on this shit, are they, or nothing like that? So make sure nobody now I gotta make some money out of this now, guys, because I ain't get paid on this stuff. Nah, just playing. It's not about the money.
It's all about.
You gotta check this out. I'm gonna go do some promotions. It's Make Pedophiles Cry Again T-shirt. It's at Predator Hunter Nation. You guys check those guys out. Get your T-shirts. It's awesome. I guarantee you, it stops predators dead in their tracks.
See, that's irresponsible. That's irresponsible to say. He guarantees that it stops predators right in their tracks. Come on now, Ernie.
I like that.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to get so much shit for this, for coming on this live. I know it. You know, I tell everybody with YouTube content creators, I've just started out and I've got like 600-700, maybe something like that subscribers. I've only done it about a month. I've not been putting nothing out. They're like, well, we got to start getting stuff out. I'm like, start explaining to who you are. Kind of like mysteryize it up. So I'm like, okay, I got the perfect idea. So
mysteryize it up. Be sure to mysteryize it up.
So I got involved with the Summer Wells case. And a guy, dang, Don, them, and all them, they hate my guts. I know they do. And other people hate my guts. But, here's the fact of the matter is, you got to do it for the right reasons. And the right reasons is right there. And you got to do it for, you the people, but most importantly, your children. Because child predators are not after us. They're after your children. And, we're going to die soon enough. What happens? What are we going to leave behind to our kids? What's going to happen? Their kids. That's the fact of the matter is.
So do you have a thought of what happened to Summer then, since you've been
she's been child trafficked.
You believe that?
That's since changed to two different things.
Yeah, I believe that 100%. I believe that 100%. The signs and symbols, the codes, the keys, the way they use it, the color codes, everything they did. A lot of people don't understand.
See, all the signs and symbols, the keys, the codes told Ernie that she'd been human trafficked. Well, then what's that tell you about his? Yeah, what's that tell you about his ability to read the signs and symbols if he's since changed his mind? Now he says that Don killed her with a hammer. So did he get the signs and symbols wrong? I got a swollen taste bug on my tongue, and it sounds. I feel like I'm saying Mensa when I say signs and symbols.
What do you have wrong with your mouth?
Swollen taste bud. You ever get one of those where like one of your taste buds get swollen?
Oh yeah, long time ago.
So now I was talking like this. But you can't have it both ways, Ernie. If you were reading the correct signs and symbols and it led you to trafficking, but you since changed your mind because she was killed with a hammer, then you must have been way the hell off about the signs and the symbols, right? You can't have it both ways.
Well, I did hear a couple different stories actually. Wreath maker, yeah, like you said.
Yeah, it was human trafficking. Canada strangled her, and then the hammer.
Sold into traffic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there another one? Oh wait, there's another one with a belt. Or that was the strangle one. Yeah. Okay.
Oh. So yeah, he's got all the. I'm gonna back that up a little bit because all his signs and symbols and codes are telling him she was trafficked. 100%, he said.
Major Jameson, welcome to the Tigers. Constance is a Tiger for a week.
Yeah, for a week. Is Ernie's trafficking me? Or no?
Well, who would have thought? Who would have thought somebody would pay? You were joking, and you really got the cash app. I
was today when I set my goal. I was kind of scared. I'm like, well, she'll make me do it.
I noticed that you changed it.
Okay, here we go. Listen to Ernie's theory about the first time. The first theory.
You know, we're going to die soon enough. What happens? What are we going to leave behind to our kids? What's going to happen? Their kids. You know, that's the fact of the matter is.
Yeah, it's
So do
different
you
for
have a thought
everyone.
of what happened to Summer then, since you've been
She's
around
been
it?
child trafficked.
You
Yeah.
believe that?
Oh,
Yeah, I believe that
Yeah.
100%. I believe that 100%. The signs and symbols. The
are you
codes, the
taking
keys,
notes
the
about
way
that
they
or
use it, the
no?
color codes, everything they did. A lot of people
No.
don't understand what color codes even is. Even with the red barrel for sale, the red barrel being red, the writing being white, in the rain, dancing in the rain, rainfall. That's a pedophilia symbol. It's a pedophilia sign. People don't understand that because they don't know what to look for. If you don't know what to look for, you know, how do you hunt that down? How do you even know? You know, it's around us and we don't
Remember
even know
some
it. We see it
signs
every
and
day, but you guys
symbols.
don't even know it because you don't know what to look for. And again, if I hadn't had this other obligations, this operation we took up on the 60-day plus mission that actually starts tomorrow, and that we're actually down here trying to get our mindset because this is a military operation. We do report to the Joint Chief of Staff on this.
That one I'll report. I mean, I'll write down. Okay,
When are
I'll be
you
back
doing
in
a live, Lisa? Oh, I have a lot of thoughts, Terry Southern Grill. I have tons of thoughts. Some of them I do keep to myself, though. But I've discussed it before. I mean, nobody knows is the bottom line. We just all have theories.
Okay. Okay.
Major Jameson.
This other obligations, this operation we took up on the 60-day plus mission that actually starts tomorrow. And that we're actually down here trying to get our mindset because this is a military operation. We do report to the Joint Chief of Staff on this. So, yes, I would have gladly, you know, joined the protest, even though I didn't know what the hell it was, just because of what it stood for and what the cause was. Yeah. That's how much I know about the deal. I'll be there. I'm actually going through Dallas, Texas to handle a little bit of business. Plano, Texas, as
Okay,
a matter
well,
of fact.
LA Leggett would like
Well,
to know
that
it.
Billy.
Keep an idea of what I said. Check this out. Listen, ladies. I'll be in Plano, Texas.
Come on.
They giggling.
I got to handle a little business from a
Milano, there you
YouTuber.
go, Leggett.
You know, I'm also trying to promote my YouTube channel now. If you could do that, it would be awesome. Because it is general awareness for the parents and grandparents, and
Is
you
it
know,
Ernie Shell exact? What is it called?
it's Operation Rescue Our Children.
Pinned comment, please,
Operation Rescue. Okay.
Our children.
so the chat can
And
see
then,
Ernie.
you know, I appreciate that. That means a lot because, you know, I'm not charging nothing for general awareness. I won't do that, as I think that every parent and grandparent should know that and should know the updated skills on how child traffickers and child predators.
He's got the shirt on that we were just talking about. I don't know if you're muted
Play
and
on it.
talking. Okay,
I was muted. Damn it.
just checking because I saw you swirling around the thing, and I'm like,
Did he switch hats midstream?
I do believe if this is the same stream, I thought he had a white one on earlier.
See, look there. He's got that hat.
Did he leave? Oh, is this a bunch of clips put together?
I don't
Because
think
that's
so.
a different hat too. Is it 3 hats? What the hell is going on here? Is this some kind of trickery? What witchery is this? Is it multiple streams? This
No, it
is
doesn't
general
look like it.
awareness.
I wonder
The
where he
signs,
switched the hat.
the signs point to 3 hats.
Okay, we'll play it from here and see. There's Arkansas.
Okay, I've counted 3 so far.
I got to handle a little business from a
Milano, there you
YouTuber.
go, Leggett.
That's weird.
You know, I'm also trying to promote my YouTube channel now. If you could do that, it would be awesome. Because it is general awareness for the parents and grandparents, and
Is
you
it
know,
Ernie Shell exact? What is it called?
it's Operation Rescue Our Children.
Operation Rescue. Okay.
Our children.
January
And then, you know, I appreciate
2022.
that means a lot because, you know, I'm not charging nothing for general awareness. I won't do that, as I think that every parent and grandparent should know that and should know the updated skills on how child traffickers and child predators prey on their children. I mean, that's the main number one goal. If I hadn't, and this is, you know, people call me scam artist and stuff like that, and fraud. If I hadn't ever worked, or we hadn't ever worked with the Department of Homeland Security, me just saying that I have would automatically bring me into federal investigation and saying whatever. But we have with these child predator investigations. We've worked with the
Wait a
Department of Homeland
minute.
Security. We've
But
worked with
cut
different
chip
law
out of
enforcement
someone's neck
agencies.
doesn't. Sorry, had to say that.
Yeah,
He just
that's
said he.
true though.
It's the first thing that just popped in my head.
Yeah. I need to write that timestamp down. Okay.
So, you know, that right there puts an end to that because I've already had my conversations with the FBI, the DHS agents, and, you know, and It's ridiculous, and especially when they see that you're really true and who you are. Because not anybody can just sit up here and spit this stuff out about what general awareness is. I don't have a teleprompter nowhere. I don't have nobody sitting there holding the sign saying, say this right now. You know,
No, but you can spit your jibber jabber out because it comes natural to you.
You do have the
We don't
gift
know.
of gab. I will give you that.
Yeah. He could be a preacher. That hat is so tacky.
don't have that. So this is from the heart. This is from the experience, what I've done.
Oh.
And it's coming out, and I'm letting it come out slowly, but it's coming out. And people will find out. Not everybody in life.
Have you seen the signs of following young women for trafficking in the state of Kentucky by marking the cars and following the women?
Yes, like 1F, 1B, 1F, 1B. There's different ways they do it. Like they'll put like 1F, 1B on it, and that's for other traffickers, anybody that's in with that, to let them know. There'll be someone who marks it. Well, we call them hawks. I like to call them hawks. That's the people who watch out, who make sure everything's clear. Because remember, they train too. They have to train in order to find you unaware. You know, most women, when they come out of Walmart or anywhere else, they've got their phone in their hand and their purse on their shoulder. And usually the purse is either heavy or whatever. And they're throwing it over the shoulder and everything. But they're mostly looking like this right here. And they're sitting here, or they're talking to someone. They're unaware. That's what that's what human traffickers obviously look for. Because they obviously look for people who are unaware. And then, of course, you know, they'll put something on top of your car, or put something in. When you get in, you're not looking and you see it, because when you sit in the front seat, you automatically see it in the windshield. You'll get back out. Once you get back out, well, that's what they want you to do. You automatically left your car door open.
You got in the car. Why they gotta wait for you to get in the car to get something on the top and put it on the outside to get out of the car? That don't make sense, Ernie. That's your jibber jabber.
The keys in the car or whatever, you know. That's a fact.
It's not a fact.
We got one right now who's actually, he tried to kidnap a 3-year-old child, and he ran the kid back up the hill to where his mother and her boyfriend was at, and her boyfriend was going to whip the dude, and then he offered him $1,000. Okay, obviously they called the police. On the way down, he picked up another kid who was 16, and he was going to Taco Bell for his first job.
He's just grabbing a whole bunch of them?
He's like, I'll give.
Yeah, just like random roundup.
Swooping in.
And Ernie knows about this.
Give you a ride. Come on, get on in. So he gets in. He gets in the vehicle with him, and he passes Taco Bell up. And the kid's like, whoa, you passed it up. He's like, yeah, I know. I'm taking you back home, or I'm taking you somewhere so I can, you know, have sex with you. And then it's like, no. So the next lie, you know, the kid jumps out, runs up the hill, and runs around and tries to find this place for security and for safety. And this woman sees this kid running, this man after her, and she's scared, so she locks the door. So the next door neighbor, he's actually out working in his garage. The kid runs by there, and then of course the neighbor protects the kid, and then he calls the police on him. Well, the next day later, maybe a week later, they're looking for this guy because they don't know who he is. And he goes over to another town, another place in town, and he picks up this transsexual person. And obviously, he used a filter on the internet, so he didn't look nothing like it. And but the guy's in the car, and he's having second thoughts about even having sex and everything. So this is the funniest shit ever. So,
what up, Virgo? This is weird.
Okay, I give up. We'll just stop here and we'll finish the deed. And he's like, okay. So the child predator takes his pants off and gets out of the car to go around. Meanwhile, he leaves his car running. So
remember that this is all in Ernie's mind. This whole story is made up in Ernie's mind. In fact, I'm going to rewind it just to get the whole insanity of it. Now listen closely to how many kids went up the hill, how many kids came rolling down.
How many were snatched in the way?
Right.
The kid runs by there, and then of course the neighbor protects the kid. So the next door passes Taco Bell, and her boyfriend was at for people who are unaware. And then of course, you know, they'll put something on top of your car, or put something in. When you get in, you're not looking and you see it, because when you sit in the front seat, you automatically see it in the windshield. You'll get back out. Once you get back out, well, that's what they want you to do. You've automatically left your car door open. You left your keys in the car or whatever. You know, that's a fact. We got one right now who's actually, he tried to kidnap a 3-year-old child, and he ran the kid back up the hill to where his mother and her boyfriend was at, and her boyfriend was going to whip the dude, and then he offered him $1,000. Okay, obviously they called the police. On the way down, he picked up another kid who was 16, and he was going to Taco Bell for his first job. And
where did they find?
He's like, I'll give you a ride. Come on, get on in. So he gets in. He gets in the vehicle with him, and he passes Taco Bell up. And the kid's like, whoa, you passed it up. He's like, yeah, I know. I'm taking you back home, or I'm taking you somewhere so I can, you know, have sex with you. And then it's like, no. So the next lie, you know, the kid jumps out, runs up the hill, and runs around and tries to find this place for security and for safety. And this woman sees this kid running, this man after her, and she's scared, so she locks the door. So the next door neighbor, he's actually out working in his garage. the kid runs by that.
I'm confused AF already.
Yeah, this is intense.
I can't
It's like
tell
a
what
movie.
kids kidnap, what kids uphill, what kids at Taco Bell, who's on first. Tiny.
Did you see the back? Did you see the back chat?
I'm
switching to my earbud for a moment.
Okay.
And then, of course, the neighbor protects the kid, and then he calls the police on him. Well, the next day later, maybe a week later, they're looking for this guy because they don't know who he is. And he goes over to another town, another place in town, and he picks up this transsexual person. And obviously, he used a filter on the internet, so he didn't look nothing like it. And but the guy's in the car, he's having second thoughts about even having sex and everything. So this is the funniest shit ever. So he's like, okay, I give up. We'll just stop here and we'll finish the deed. And he's like, okay. So the child predator takes his pants off and gets out of the car to go around. Meanwhile, he leaves his car running. So the transsexual or the trans person, transgender, I don't know, whatever you want to say, they jump over into the passenger or into the driver's seat and takes off and leaves him without his pants. The man has to go to the sheriff's department, walk to the sheriff's department without no pants. You can imagine how that went. And then, of course, after that, they arrest him, and then everything comes in, and then everything else comes in and it hits him, and now he's in a prison in Florida, but he's trying to plead insanity and get out of all this stuff.
Yeah.
Like we deal with mostly, and to be honest with you, like these child predators things that's online that we do, we deal with mostly people that's, I mean, you can pretty much tell. And a lot of people say, well, you're entrapping people. Here's the fact of the matter is these things we do online. Sometimes we don't even put a profile picture up. We don't put nothing on the profile. They just see that it's new people that's in the group or in the chat, and they automatically, wow. Even with Chris Hansen, when Chris Hansen was doing the Catch a Predator, Chris Hansen endorsed me. I don't know if you guys have seen them. You guys seen photos where they're showing on the inside of Don's wall and you see a hand? Have you seen that?
Mm-mm.
Really?
No, I don't think so.
Oh my God, I've got photos, and like I said, I get thousands of messages. I get thousands. Well, we get hundreds of tips. But
Probably
I've got
porn
photos.
messages.
Huh?
Probably porn you get.
No, really.
I'm teasing with him. I know.
But literally, there's photos someone sent me, and I'll have to go back through it. I'm going to post these photos. I've never really thought about it that much because you get so many things that's fake. And then even when talking with TBI, TBI people will tell you, they get so many things that's just like, good God, far-fetched. I mean, they even got things out there that I know that they said the aliens abducted Summer. So, I mean, and then there's actually somebody reported that Bigfoot ran off in the woods with her, literally reported it. So having that, I know they have to investigate every single thing. And, so with Predator Hunter Nation, I mean, for some of the things we do, I mean, we have a pretty huge following around towns, but people all the time report stuff to us. And some of them is actually legit, but there were some photos that came in that I was looking at, and they was like, please search this. And it was just like a few days ago. And I just kind of breathed by it but I've seen it. And now I didn't know nothing about the case about Summer Wells, but now that that's happening, I think I'm going to turn these photos in and turn them over. But it showed a little child's hand inside the wall, like there's a space. Well, I think that might need to be looked at. But like I didn't know nothing about the wall thing. See, I never heard, like I said, I'm not familiar with this case at all, only from what I see from the outside of it. Like if I was really wanting to take and investigate this case and do it like we would do for detective when I was a detective and when I was in the private investigations, I would took this case and formed an outline with it. Of course, I would take the agents that's working on it now, back off the case, put fresh eyes on it, and start from the beginning. That's what you have to do that.
Right.
He acts like TBI wouldn't have known that. Duh. Like he's smarter than TBI.
Did you know, guys, that Candace actually made a report on me? Did y'all know that?
What? She made a report on you?
Yeah, they actually tried to say that I was the one that got Summer Wells. I've never been around the area.
Are you shitting me?
No.
He said he'd never been around the area, yet he told us just the other day that he was from the area, lived in the area, and even knew Don Wells.
There's a video out there.
If she was with you, she'd be safe. So, yeah.
No, the hell no, she wouldn't either. She'd be out in the river somewhere trying to float.
Summer?
No, I'm talking about Candace. I thought you
No, I was saying, I thought you said
if Summer was with, if I knew where Summer was at, I'll tell you how fast. If we knew where Summer was at exactly, I'm going to say this right here, exactly, we could have a team in a matter of minutes.
So could the police, dipshit.
Literally an extraction team with even
professionals.
The de facto attorney general.
You wouldn't need a de facto attorney general
Office, and we could with a special force.
Why would you need them? Why would you need a legislature guy there?
Of Liberty. We could come up with a team so fast
So
that was made of former military.
She's already been on here before many times, Susan.
Right. I mean, it could be done so fast. I mean, it would even be 30 seconds in and out, literally. But here's the fact of the matter is, there was a video that Candace put out about, you remember when she said that somebody had came and got Don, that he had been arrested. Y'all remember that?
Yeah.
Well, in that same one, she's like talking about me, a Predator Hunter Nation. She's like, storm the Capitol. They make the video out. They let that little voice clip of her out. Ernie Shell was at January 6th. He was part of this. He was part of that. Nobody knows that there's a big deal about that. I've already been questioned. Like, oh my good God, I can't even remember how many times I've been questioned about that. But anyways, for her to take that initiative and bring me into that world of Summer Wells, I knew for one thing that I was on to something for what I put out already on her and Don. Because all we actually did is one of Don Wells' people he went to school with had set up an interview with us. And we drove all the way to that area, and then all of a sudden canceled. But he wasn't the one that canceled. And I found that out through the setup video that they did with Benny Keys and Sure. Sure canceled that video. Okay. Sure has something coming, and it's not something she wants. I'll just say that. I have something very deeply against her for what she said. Very personal deeply about what we're doing with Saving Children and what we're doing with the new movie coming out. So Sure is not. And here's the fact of the matter is, her group on Facebook, I had added that group, and I can actually show you the screenshots. And I know she's got like a lot of people that goes into it and everything. But as soon as I put that video up about Benny and I mentioned Sure in there, immediately, 1 minute after, I took a screenshot. 1 minute after that, she was wanting to ask questions about allowing me into the group. And so what I did is, so they send me this question thing, and I'm filling it out, and I'm like, hey, Sure, why now? Why do you want to talk now for? See, what people don't understand is, Sure, back when she thought we was, let me say this the right way. When she thought we were law enforcement, she thought we was. So she was going to turn Don in. I had the screenshot, or I had the messages, and she deleted her whole Facebook account and her messenger and started over again. This is a fact. And we had her because she's like, yeah, we'll tell you anything you want. Right there told me that, at least she knew what was going on. And then that's why I started putting stuff together. And then, of course, more people followed. And that whole, that connection with them, I can tell you who the players are. And even the law enforcement we discussed this with are like, dude, you're right. You're right on track. And
they're not going to say that.
We just need that final missing piece in that puzzle. When we put this movie out there, and there's millions of people that there, then they're going to be like thinking like, because they're all.
See, way back when in 2022, he was going to be making something big going to come about. When we do this, there's going to be millions of people following us. When we do this, it's going to do this. When we do this, it's going to do this.
I want to come back to me. They're going to be like, oh, I'm so sorry. I don't want to.
And the saying, so sorry. Remember? Same. I'm going to replay that. Same shit he says now. You're going to owe me an apology. Oh, you're going to come back and say sorry. When I get in the news and when I'm big and famous, you're going to come back and say, oh, you're so sorry.
Piece in that puzzle. When we put this movie out there, and there's millions of people that, there, then they're going to be like thinking like, because they're all going to come back to me. They're going to be like, oh, I'm so sorry. I don't want nothing to do with those people. I know who those people are. I know what their affiliations are. That's the key thing of it. You'll see me all the time hold number one up. And there's certain people who, before I go on to any chat or any kind of pod, I let them know where I'm at. I let them know what I'm doing. That way they can also come in and look around to see if.
Did you have something you want to say, Sarah? I didn't see you back there.
Well, yeah, I don't know if you missed it, but like a couple minutes ago, I was, doing a couple things real quick, and I heard him say something that I forgot I had heard before. When everybody was in the chat saying, what the hell? He said if something about Candace would be, did you hear what he said about she'd be floating down the river or something like that?
Oh, yeah. When the girl, we make Summer up for the girl?
No, I think he was implying to Candace that she would be floating down the river. If you might need, I don't know if you have that time. I didn't know if you caught that.
The girl says if Summer was with you, she'd be safe. And Ernie said, hell no, she'd be floating down the river if she was with me. And the girl goes, Summer? And he said, no, Candace. I thought you meant Candace. So he did straight out say that if Candace was with him, she would be floating down the river.
Which would imply a threat to some. That's what I'm saying. Right. Like, I didn't know if you, I forgot I've heard that before, but I didn't know if you heard it. Okay.
And he wondered why she never wanted to meet with him. He didn't want to talk with him. Didn't want to play, He said they're threatening her.
Did others hear it like that? In the chat?
Yeah,
okay. Okay. Got to echo.
the players are actually attended, because we know when you throw that line out there, it's just a line. What people get tangled up in it when they start getting tangled up, and then you just barely pull that line. They're in the water.
What is your movie about? I mean, what is it that's so captivating about your movie? I just need to know. I mean, I don't know. I've never heard this.
Well, we're actually shooting it right now. We shot probably like 80 or 90 hours of footage, and we're just putting stuff together. It's a documentation. I play a special agent, and pretty much I give up the game to try to help this little girl who is trafficked, and then pretty much we go through and we're trying to find out this big child trafficking ring, and we.
Now imagine that. It's a movie where he's LARPing. He's a special agent helping a little girl who's trafficked in the middle of an investigation where he thinks a little girl is trafficked. Now do you see why people think that it's not too far-fetched that Ernie could have been setting somewhere up to be rescued and something went wrong? Yep, he's been LARPing this whole effing time. It's just a movie, yep.
So it's a movie. It's a movie.
Here's something else. It's never before been done. It's going to be like a documentary style movie. We have to put there's action in it. There's comedy. You know, it's just everything rolled up into one. I want to do stuff that's never before been done. I don't want to just do a documentary, put a documentary out there. I want to do something that grabs the audience's attention and it keeps them for the whole hour and a half long.
Gotcha. Well, Benny's saying he's going to be part of a movie too. So
yeah, it's called Cell Block Sisters '94.
I know, right? I kind of thought that too. I kind of get it. I kind of wonder if it was going to be on 90 Days In.
Well, Benny's movie, you know, here's the thing about it, you know, people who prey on others. I mean, predators defined as people who prey on other people. Benny's a predator. Benny, if he don't get his way, he's threatened. I've seen him call people up on the phone. Hell, he called law enforcement when I was digging, when I was out digging, trying to find this child predator and see if somebody had said that they picked up bones or something. One of his members in the family said that. So we had a team out there and we was digging, and Benny found that out. He called every damn state, every police, every freaking thing he could do. He was listening to people in chat. It's in Tennessee. He was calling Tennessee live on this. And then he called Corbin, Kentucky. Then he called just everywhere he called. And finally he got the right one. And I was sitting there, and I was sitting right across from the police, and we was laughing our asses off at him. And it was so funny because they were reporting it in. He about had the damn SWAT team called out. And then he says, Sir, don't you want the glory of finding this little girl dead body? Don't you want that glory? And then
did you hear that? He said, don't you want the glory of finding this little girl's dead body? Don't you want the glory of finding this little girl's dead body? Or replay it.
Reporting it in. He about had the damn SWAT team called out. And then he says, Sir, don't you want the glory of finding this little girl dead body? Don't you want that glory? And then the police officer sitting there like, well, if he finds it, you know, or whatever, it's him, you know, it's up. But good God, they were sitting there. My phone was ringing off the hook. I had captains, I had sergeants, and I was like, and I'd already had permission to do all this. But
this was summer? Was it summer?
No, it's not Summer Wells. It's another case in Kentucky. This is in Kentucky.
Okay,
but
thank you.
He thought it was summer. He thought it was summer. Or no, he tried to make his audience think that it was summer, and he was going on about it. In reality, and I'm going on record saying this, Benny Keys knows about Summer Wells. He knows more than what he's saying. There's more to Benny Keys than meets the eye.
Well, so does Cher.
Cher knows too. Cher's already admitted to us. Cher's already admitted to us. She was wanting to meet. She was wanting to make an agreement where she makes an apology and she says this and that, and we was talking. And then of course the trolls started getting her, and then she got with them. I'm not done with Cher or her husband Prairie Dog or whatever the fuck his name is.
Ernie, let me ask you this: what do you think about Josie or Jody Sue? I
don't think that's a player. I don't think it's a player in the game. I don't think that. So I don't even look at that. I only look at players. People I think.
You don't think Jody Sue's a player, or Andy, her husband? I mean, her ex.
Maybe an accomplice, but I don't think that they're actual people of that can actually give direct answers. I know some people who slip out a lot, and they give direct answers and they don't understand. That's why they delete their videos and delete their
What
accounts.
about Allie? What do you think about Allie?
I don't think. I'm just thinking. I'm thinking about the main people who are connected to Don, who are in it for the reasons he's in it, with drugs, money, and all this money where it's coming from. That's what I'm focusing on. I'm also looking at the places where they live at and what's exactly around their area, what goes on. I'm looking at the child trafficking cases around the areas that they're located in Texas.
Did you look at all the child traffickers, the pedophiles in Summers area? Did you think of that, Ernie? Did you even look at your own little chart that you're so big on promoting?
The areas in Texas. I have ranger friends in Texas who are looking at the same thing at any given moment in time that we talk to each other, and they're like, hey, look, this is what's going on here. 45-mile radius within this. We're looking at this. That's why I'm saying, I'm going to go on and say this. I'm thinking that, I'm thinking summer's being held in Texas. I'm going to say that. I'm just going to go say that. I may regret that later for putting that out there, but I'm going to say it.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of thought there was a thing about Mexico. Don kept saying Mexico, Mexico, Mexico.
Well, I'm thinking she's not in Mexico. She's in Texas. She's in the crop right before you get to the border. That's what I'm saying. And I've already turned all this in. I've turned so
like
much
Brownsville,
stuff in.
like Brownsville, like down in that area.
I don't have a town right just yet. I mean, we've actually had people who are looking forward to. Let me just say this: there's a connection that we established back years ago, and I'll tell you about this connection. It's called the Future Recovery Agency Network. There's about 2,000 or 3,000 people on there. They're all agents, they're licensed bonding officials. What we would do with fugitives when I'd be in Tennessee and then I'd have a fugitive out in California, we would make that call and we'd reach out. So I'd get on the internet, I'd get on Facebook, the group, and I would be like, who's on in California? Within minutes, somebody would say, hey, bro, I got you. What do you need? What part? What area? Well, I need San Bernardino, California. Okay, I'm about 20 minutes from it. Hey, can you do a spot check for me? Yeah, sure, bro, sure. And then, of course, I'd have to send that information, usually the warrant showing that it's official, that it's an official warrant, and that it is active warrant. And then, of course, I would send it to them, their bonding company or whatever company they work for, if it was a private or even privatized is in these groups. And then they would do a 20-minute run, like a spot check. And then, of course, if that person was there, they would make the arrest under California, and under their jurisdiction and under their bonding company and their license. They'd make that arrest, and then we would arrange for extradition and how we could actually extradite that person back into Tennessee. And then, of course, we'd use other agents with it, and then, of course, we would help with the money. So that was a real big help because when you put people out there on the road actually looking, and you're paying, hotel expenses, you're paying your manpower, So look, so if we can do that with fugitives who don't want to be found, imagine what we can do with children who would love to be found.
Ernie, are you from Tennessee? Is that what you're saying?
Originally, I'm from Kentucky, but I'm in the Tennessee-Kentucky area.
Okay. And I'm glad that you made it up here because it's nice to get to know you and to hear your philosophy and what you want out of this and what you're looking
because
for.
We're on a 60+ day mission every day, state to state. This is going to kill me out. I know it is. I've done this once before, and good God Almighty. And we're looking at 14-hour+ days, and then we got to drive to the next state house where we're going to meet representatives, Congress members, and governors, and people are going to see that, and it's going to be on my channel. And they're going to be like, what in the fuck does this guy do? What does this guy do? Because we're passing these laws that for children, child trafficking, and people actually see, because I'm actually putting the effort out there. I'm applying myself. These other yahoos and people, they're behind their computer screens, not doing shit at all. Only thing they're doing is killing their own subscribers. When you make videos and you keep making the videos about the same damn person, like I told you a while ago, I'm the only person I know on YouTube who could actually miss their own live and check it out on 5 other YouTubers' channels.
And Ziggy is like putting the platform out there, which is amazing. I mean,
awesome.
I love that. Thank you, Ziggy. Because I'm telling you, I wouldn't have even met him before. I would not have even met him. I mean, I couldn't even get anybody to say his name or his channel or anything. So thank you.
But you have to understand, there's a reason they won't want my name mentioned. There's a reason.
I know.
Because you'll see us day by day going to different state houses, meeting with the governor, taking photos, doing all this stuff that, that proves that we are the real people. We are making these laws happen. And, it may not happen. I might not see nothing out of it financially because I'm not getting paid a dime for this. I'm leaving my home. I'm leaving my comfortability in New York. I'm leaving my career right now because this is the Special Forces Military last stand. And, this is the last thing I'm doing. After that, I'm going to find me a wife. I'm going to find me some kids. I'm going to find me a desert island somewhere. This is controlling the narrative. Watch this. I'm going to go on the record, I'm going to officially say this now. Watch arrests be made here soon. Okay. I'm going to say that and watch it pertain to possibly some YouTubers. How's that? You like that?
Now, how odd is that? He calls for an arrest to be made, and it could be some YouTubers. But it very well could have been he's the YouTuber.
Ernie, stop it.
You like that?
Yeah, I love it, but stop it.
I'm just going to say that. I'm just going to say there's going to be a connection somewhere along the lines of people who stepped out of bounds, and then they can't get back in bounds. And the people who did this wasn't counting on Summer Wells being viral like it went. Now that the money situation
really wasn't viral. Nobody around me even knows about her.
It's going up. You watch what happens. But I'm saying this too, they got too comfortable and they let a certain bunch of things slip that they should have never let slip. When you're in bed with different YouTubers and you're friends one minute, you're not friends the next, you're slapping the hell out of this and you're slapping the hell out of that, and you're fighting and all this bullshit drama. You have to remember one thing. You talk to other people. Loose lips.
Mm-hmm.
That information gets back to people.
Yep.
Some people, you never want that information to get back to because they have those networks and they have those connections and they're affiliated with more than you'll ever know. That's all I'm going to say. Much respect. Right. You guys support Operation Rescue Our Children. What we're doing, you'll see in the next 60+ days, this operation. This is a military style operation, as we do report to the Joint Chief of Staff.
Ugh. Yuck. That's enough of that. Can't stand no more of it. That's what I thought, Truth Hurts, and he said it went viral. It didn't go viral. He's full of shit. Well, folks, that's all I have for you for today. Sarah, are you back yet? Oh, did I screw it up? Guess not. Maybe I did. Yeah, I did. Okay. Let me think of anything else to say. I don't think I do. That clip was from Glow. I'll put her. Glow V. You're welcome, Mac. Thank y'all for being here with me. Sarah, thank you for being here with me. If you hear this, I don't have much more to say. We might go over some more. See what Sarah has planned. She might have something she wants to do on her channel tomorrow. I'm not sure, but okay. Thank you all for everybody for the super chats and the memberships and the being members for all those months and the super sticker. And I'll talk to you probably tomorrow sometime.